I don't know if you guys saw, but it looks like there was a creator by the name of Soggy Cereal came through with a hour plus long document on none other than DogPack. I mean, everyone's pretty much been saying that the dude was ill-equipped for this job, ill-equipped to be going after Mr. Beast, and lo and behold, somebody actually decided to go do a couple month-long investigation to prove exactly what everyone's been saying this entire time, that he is just way in over his head and has no idea what he should be doing. But, you know, such is life. Yo, what's going on, Mono? How you doing, man? How you doing? I've never heard of Soggy Cereal before, so we're gonna go ahead and give him the benefit of the doubt. I did watch some of his some of the video that we're about to watch here, and he's got DogPack in got him in a headlock, man. I don't really see how he can get away with get out from under all of this. Like, some of this stuff isn't even actually like accusations, it's just proof. Like, in order for him to be able to do anything, this is why everyone's been saying, like, you can't just use, oh, I'm not a professional, as a defense, because this dude's name is literally Soggy Cereal, and I trust him more on the allegations that he puts against freaking Mr. Beast in this video versus any of the allegations that DogPack has put out. And this is the first video I've ever seen of this guy, whereas DogPack has put out 3 multi-million viewed videos. Like, anyways, let's get into it. You guys are gonna see just how much of a scumbag this dude actually is. Not Soggy Cereal, but DogPack.
Yes. You're pushing back on everything that we're saying. So
well, because you're trying to fire me, and I want to work at this company.
I'm the CEO of this company. If I'm talking, don't interrupt.
Well, you see, you're the you know, you're trying to fire me and I want to work here. Like, yes, sir, there's no, they don't have to, like, talk to you. They don't have to keep you on the job if they don't want you there. Like, how is it I've never heard that before. I've never been in a situation where they were like, yeah, so we're firing you. And it's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think you're going to fire me. Need Soggy Cereal and Ordinary Sausage to team up to take down DogPack and Baking with Babish. The two foods take down their enemies. Nice.
Trying to get to this point of working on Mr. Beast for a long time. Can I please have a second chance?
I absolutely want the audio from his firing. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, because I know that Soggy Cereal only got some of it, or at least he said he only got a few clips of it. But we'll see if we can't get it, or if somebody might cut it together and leak it entirely. But it sounds like he is begging for his job, man, and it's amazing. It just goes more to the narrative of him being a disgruntled employee.
Manager of Dawson, or DogPack404. I was the manager of DogPack404 for a time being. If you had to describe the working conditions when Dawson was working with you in ideation with one word, what word would it be?
I would say it was depressing.
The war crime.
Dude, the crazy thing is like he's getting actual people. Like, look at this. Okay, DogPack's direct coworker Emily, ideation team at Mr. Beast. Like, these are people that you could legitimately do background checks on, talk about, or reach out to, or anything. And you know, the crazy thing is like with we have this chick here, and now we have this guy coming on who is Dustin, apparently Jake Weedle's friend. Like, these are people that we can look at, like, if there's a I don't want to say leaked or exposed, but if there's like a list of DogPack employees, we can actually look and see how long these people worked at the company. We could look and see to make sure that they're actually telling, like, there's a face to the name. They're not just anonymous source like DogPack is. We have a face. We have a person who's willing to go on record with their name, with their physical face, and say, yes, this is my testimony, rather than having to trust some dude who put, you know, Jimmy in a freaking whitey tighties in his third video. We don't have to trust that guy. We can look at this dude right here with an awesome beard who's gonna give us information on Jake Weedle, rather than it being some text message that doesn't even have both sides or a name or anything to it. It's amazing what an actual journalist or somebody doing real investigative work can accomplish.
With one word, what word would it be?
I would say it was depressing.
The war crime stuff.
If you're okay, your coworker needs to Mono. I'll see about it. I could reach out to Diorio and see maybe if he has it. But it's like your coworker is using one word to describe you. What is it?
Describe the working conditions when Dawson was working with you in ideation with one word. What word would it be?
I would say it was depressing.
The war crime.
Her whole thing, her whole time working with DogPack is summed up to depressing. But I mean, you can't really blame her. Look at the dude's face, man. Look at DogPack.
404.
Like,
I was the manager of DogPack404 for a time being.
he got his legitimate manager. Like, he got the dude who either hired him or the dude who was supposed to. This is the guy that he supposedly didn't know was his supposedly didn't know who his manager was. Remember, because he only worked there technically for 3 weeks, but in actuality he was there for only 2 weeks because he didn't do work for an entire week because he didn't know who his direct manager was. And it was this dude. It was Hoodie. It was freaking discount Ed Sheeran over here, you know?
If you had to describe the working conditions when Dawson was working with you in ideation with one word, what word would it be?
I would say it was depressing.
The war crime stuff, that was a joke. Why did you make that joke?
Now, Jake Weedle.
The war crime stuff, that was a joke. Why did you?
Now, Jake Weedle absolutely looks like somebody who would attribute having to sleep with a light on as a war crime. Look at the, listen, I'm not saying anything against mullets, but if you're wearing a mullet and a stash like that in 2024, I don't really think you're, I just don't think you're a very tough dude. I'm gonna look at you and be like, okay, somebody's just trying to follow a trend here or something, but he absolutely looks like the type of person who would describe it as a war crime to just have to be sleeping. And he got paid like 10 grand every single day that he was there, dude. That's insanity. He looks like flamenco. Now that's harsh. That's an insult of all if I've ever heard of one.
To make that joke.
Actively right now, by the videos that Dawson is making, he is actively hurting the philanthropy that is helping thousands and millions of lives.
And that's another thing that a lot of people aren't taking into consideration either, is that he could literally be dismantling or disrupting the stuff that, you know, Mr. Beast is trying to actively partake in, trying to actively do, such as like more like philanthropy work, like getting the kids that were needing like amputate, or kids that were amputated, not that were needing amputations. But like all of the philanthropy work, he probably had a lot of people pull out because of these, you know, dog shit, no pun intended, videos that just painted a terrible light on this guy. So there's probably kids out there who needed some sort of medical procedure that he could have provided that got stopped because of freaking DogPack and his stupid videos.
Oh, so you want to cheaply manipulate people by imitating Content Cop? I'll show you imitating Content Cop.
What we do here is go back.
You know what? He actually looks like iDubbbz a lot. He's like the European iDubbbz. Oh man, these intros are so goated from the old iDubbbz days.
Fuck.
Bulgarian dubs, yeah. Could be. He definitely looks like iDubbbz a lot, right? Just like your
bowl of cereal. As most of you have probably guessed by now, this video won't just be about this alleged fraudulent and manipulative asshole. It'll also be about
this dude's got some strong jawlines, man.
Confirmed fraudulent and manipulative asshole. DogPack404, also known as...
Yeah, the one over here, the freaking 2 months ago one, the Mr. Beast secret CEO, that was filled with so much BS.
Dawson French and his victims of manipulation. For the people who have not been exposed to his propaganda yet, DogPack404 or Dawson French is an ex-Mr. Beast employee who worked there for about 3 weeks, and after being fired, made or worked on videos filled with lies about Mr. Beast. And I became suspicious of DogPack404 after he called me overdramatic for not wanting to spread suspicious of DogPack404
Personally, I would find the Mr. Beast in-depth more intriguing. Soggy responded with, yeah, but with all the uncertainty and refundability of specific proof right now, this could put me in both legal and financial trouble and ruin my entire channel, which I'm not looking forward to. DogPack404 playing the kind person to the call to then call me over dramatic, peer pressure 101. Hey, I enjoy your content. I don't want to screw you over, which is why I'm being upfront about all of this. However, I think you're being over dramatic. Dude, he's not being over dramatic. People who do this as like a supplemental income don't want to fuck with that, dude. Hell, we even do this just as a hobby, and we don't want to mess with that just because somebody wants to throw out some crazy allegations. I mean, Kristen Ark was even talking about this on the 1K stream about how like he was given like a 30-page document by another YouTuber, and instead of, you know, he couldn't verify the validity of the document, so he didn't move with that story. It's just that simple. This guy might do YouTube full-time, or it might be the bulk of his income. He doesn't want to risk that by throwing out stupid allegations that were so easily provably false.
He called me overdramatic for not wanting to spread serious accusations with unsubstantiated and easily refutable evidence. As well as because he tried to silence me with threats of slander.
All right, big dog, good talk. I'm still gonna cook you. Sure, got receipts enough to prove my innocence. I can give them actually, but sure, man. See, and this is the other thing too, man. Like, this is literally the Mama Max version of the content of the commentary people, where he's like, bro, I am the Mr. Beast guy. Like, do you not know who I am? I'm the Mr. Beast guy. 30 pages of Dark Viper, probably, but it's like, you know, when Mama Max was like, I can end you, Charlie. I'm the pedo guy. I'm the pedo hunter. It's like, dude, that's not something that you want to go ahead and brag about, like that you would utilize that. But he's over here acting like he's, you know, gonna little bro Soggy Cereal when Soggy Cereal's been doing this shit longer than DogPack has. Like, where do you get the confidence, dude? You literally just took down one of your videos because of how trash it is and full of, you know, bullshit.
Him of lying. So in this video, I will be debunking close to every accusation he and the people he manipulated have made. But Soggy, are
you know something I found out? Freaking Rosanna Pansino is like 5'2".
you going to place the Mr. Beast, Soggy? Are you going to decride the largely owning, alleged intentionally registered sex offender hiring Mr. Beast, Soggy?
That part of the drama will never not be funny to me. When Jake the Viking is like talking for so long, saying, oh, Mr. Beast knew. He absolutely knew that he was hiring pedos because my brother-in-law was one of them. It's like, yeah, bro, but you knew as well, and you didn't say anything either. So what do you mean?
No. See, I think we can all agree that Lunchley kinda cringe. Logan Paul KSI collab, kinda, that's a yikes out of 10, okay? And the fucking mold situation, that is disgustingly messed up, and I'm never eating that shit in my life. But that doesn't mean that just because this spiteful, vengeful ghoul accuses Mr. Beast of intentionally hiring a registered sex offender, that he actually did. Yeah, let's talk about the lie spun by DogPack and Jake Weddle, that Mr. Beast knowingly hired a registered sex offender and while working at the company would refer to him by covert codename Delaware because of the crimes he committed there, and as a result is not allowed to go back into the state of Delaware, and that Mr.
which
Beast
is another one
using that nickname.
That it's like it's another one that's just so provably false, which is why like Willie Mack got flamed for it when he said that, you know, Mr. Beast was utilizing the mask in an effort to hide his true identity. Like, when you say something like that and say it so definitively without, you know, wanting without doing any level of research to it, yeah, it's something that could just easily be smacked down. What's up, Paul? Respect to you as always, brother. Did you see Rosanna smoked her dad for her new podcast? No, I did not. What do you mean smoked him? Like, like actually smoked him? Like his ashes or something?
Because they enjoy messed up insider jokes like...
I hate when people use that logic, so I guess Dahmer and Gracie's family and coworkers knew about their side activities because they all knew. Exactly. Like, how many times have you ever watched, you know, a trial, or you've ever watched any sort of freaking, like the Green River Killer? Then you have, like, there was even people when it came to, what's his face, the lady killer, the famous one, Ted Bundy, where there were women who were picketing and saying like he couldn't be a killer because he was too attractive. Like, they're, again, man, oh, rolled up into a joint. Wow, wonderful. But no, yeah, it's the same type of people who are just so dumb. Like, just because you knew a person doesn't mean you ever actually know them.
that.
When I was there, they called him.
Same thing here with DogPack, man. Look at DogPack. DogPack is supposed to be the super trusted employee who only worked there for 2 weeks out of 3 weeks. He was actually employed, and everybody wants to go ahead and say he's some sort of like moral prospect or moral philosopher, moral key holder, moral grandstander, like all of these things. He's supposed to be the progenitor of all the information that we get, but he's makes so many mistakes, nobody can trust him anymore.
Delaware. He's like, why do you call him Delaware? I didn't know. Apparently they called him Delaware because he's not allowed to go back to Delaware. That's his nickname? Colloquially? Like, you know, yeah, it's Delaware.
Apparently his name is Delaware because he can't go back to Delaware. I feel like this dude, like, where is he from? Isn't he from like the Midwest? I feel like he's one of those dudes who wears cowboy but isn't actually cowboy. Who's more trustworthy when it comes to investigations, DogPack or Mama Max? Well, at least Mama Max, there was no actual victims outside of the people he accused. You know, like all the victims were fake. there nobody was actually getting hurt. Here, people are actually hurt. We have to at least extend that level of courtesy that there are probably some people who are telling the truth about this, and now they're never going to be believed because this is the, you know, DogPack's the one who is holding this investigation by the balls and just destroying it. Posted 2 pics in members chat and Discord.
Don't ask him why. Yeah. You know that he knew, and because he'll be in videos, and whenever he is, he's wearing a mask.
Which, just saying that out loud makes it sound like a contrived side plot in a badly written Netflix series, since state banishments are extremely rare. Most recent one I found was a 1-year Kentucky banishment in the year 2000. Luckily, the real story is much more boring. See, according to a non-anonymous Mr. Beast employee,
I do think I have already heard this of the Rosanna thing. Okay, I did see that. As an Indianan, the Midwest doesn't claim him. Back in the barracks tomorrow, so me and Mrs. enjoying the evening with you lot. Hey, that's awesome, Paul, Wolfman, and Mono, thanks for coming out. If you guys don't know this story of how Delaware got hired, it is like the best standing rumor as to how he got hired is because Jimmy literally just went into a Best Buy and said, I'm hiring everybody in this Best Buy to come and work for Mr. Beast. Like, that's potentially what the Soggy cereal is about to unveil here.
Austin Harris, who has been working at Mr. Beast for about 6 years and went rogue because he couldn't stand Jimmy not responding to all of the misinformation being spread about not just Jimmy or the Mr. Beast company, but also about his own friends and colleagues. Well, he explained that Delaware was once a store manager at Jimmy's local Best Buy, which, for the people who don't know, Best Buy is a $20 billion valued electronics retailer company with stores all over the US. I mean that when Jimmy was 19 and first started blowing up on YouTube, Jimmy realized he needed employees to improve his content. So,
there you go.
As a dumbass, impulsive 19-year-old randomly thrown into fame, he went to his local Best Buy and asked its employees if they wanted to work for it. Naively thinking that a multi-billion-dollar company would have at least made sure to not hire criminals and especially to not hire a registered sex offender as store manager, 19-year-old Mr. Beast didn't do background checks.
Now, you can obviously turn around and make the you can make the argument, dude, again, 19, like he didn't really have a, you know, a grasp on all of this. But at the same time, you would also think your local Best Buy isn't going to be hiring an RSO. Like, that's not something you'd think that they'd do enough research on their own to not slip up. But I mean, hell, again, if you're going to be hiring anybody to work for you, you should at least know their background, or at least what might come out in a background check, you know? That's crazy.
Was that stupid? Yes. Is Delaware a piece of shit? Yes. Should Jimmy take responsibility for making that mistake? Yes. But it wasn't this fucked up master plan by Jimmy.
I think he absolutely should take responsibility for it, but I don't think it should be responsibility in the sense of you took, you know, you hired a register, you know, an RSO. No, it should be like you made a really dumb decision and you should own up to that, you know? It also wasn't a full-on company back then either. Yeah, that's what Soggy Cereal is saying. Like, he was 19. He was, you know, his mom was still like the head of HR, and I agree with him. He should absolutely take responsibility for it, but not in the sense of like, oh, you were trying to harm kids. No, it's just he was an idiot. He was a dumb kid, and he made a dumb choice, you know. Wolfman, it's not a Boost Mobile. You think they do back? Yeah, exactly, dude. This isn't like Cricket or something. You'd think they do background checks, man. You know how many like people come in with their kids, or how many teenagers go to like the phone store all on their own?
Me too.
Like, come on.
Hire an RSO. It was a dumb mistake by an inexperienced adolescent starting up a business. And you don't need to take mine or Dustin's word for it. If someone did but a shred of research, you'd find this still publicly available.
At 19, I was on my third tour. He should just be a man and own it. No, Paul, I agree with you, man. Like I said, it's not his age, and his inexperience only goes up to him being, in my personal opinion, his own experience only goes up to being, I was young, I was dumb, it was my fault, I should have done better, especially with the type of viewers I had. That's it. I don't think he deserves the, you hired an RSO, you tried to protect him, you hired him knowing you had kids or around you or kid audience, you knowingly hired him. Like, all of that I disagree with. I don't agree with him doing it in a malicious way. Like, I don't think he hired him and then went ahead and hid him, or like Jake the Viking alleges his company and his mom knowingly hired Jake the Viking, Delaware's, you know, Jake the Viking's cousin Delaware, and that they were actively trying to get the RSO charged off of his. It's pretty loud, I'm pretty sure. Sorry about that, guys. But anyways, he definitely needs to own it. Just, you know, not like this.
Almost 7-year-old video on the Mr. Beast channel, where you can see Delaware as the Best Buy store manager before he was hired at Mr. Beast. And guess what nickname was embroidered on his Best Buy uniform? Delaware. Wow. Well, that was hard investigative research.
What's up, Big Jono?
Called him Delaware because he's not allowed to go back to Delaware. You know that he knew him because he'll be in videos, and whenever he is, he's wearing a mask. And whenever he is, he's wearing a mask. He's wearing a mask.
And for the people thinking that he's still
yeah, like I said, this is one of those videos where this is one of those moments where like even you have to call out even somebody like Willie Mack, who just trusted DogPack's word in investigation. Like, you can't go ahead and put out information like that and it be so easily searchable. You know what I'm saying? I can't hear young and dumb without thinking that, yeah, young, dumb, and free, or young, dumb, and full of, yeah.
Works at Mr. Beast? No, he was fired over half a decade ago. Now, DogPack, before you say something along the lines of, so what about the recording we showed from a real Mr. Beast employee talking about Delaware? Do you really want
here
to
we go.
into detail about how you and your cronies tricked an employee into saying what you wanted him to say to support your lies, and then you guys recording him and using that recording without his consent? Yup.
Yeah, if you don't know about this one, DogPack, this was like really early on criticism when the first video came out, like not the short video with Kendrick Lamar and all that, like where he was at Kendrick in the car, but the first video, or I'm pretty sure it was the first video that came out and had like a testimonial from one of the from another Mr. Beast employee, and what ended ended up actually like coming of that, kind of like with the lava situation as well, is that it was done under false pretenses and was taken out of context. So they, I think it was Lava who they ended up lying to about like what the type of an interview was gonna be or something, or they like tracked him down to his work, or maybe it was this guy, one of the two. But regardless, one of the testimonials that came out of Mr. Beast employees was done under false pretenses and was edited in a way to make it look like it was the guy was saying something other than what he was.
Okay. Hi, Garrett. Can you tell me a bit about how long you worked at Mr. Beast?
I was at Mr. Beast from around 2017 to 2021.
So you've worked there for 5 years and could be seen as a credible ex-employee.
Yep.
You're the person who we can hear talk about Delaware in the recording Dawson or DogPack404 shows in its video. Can you tell me a bit about how that happened?
Yeah, it was not.
Listen, I'm going to be honest. I totally understand the necessity of like high pitching a person's voice, but you just down pitch it. Don't up pitch it, down pitch it, okay? Because at least you can take somebody whose voice has been down pitched seriously. Somebody who has like a high pitched chipmunk voice, I'm not going to take seriously. Just saying. Like, it's a little harder to take them serious.
To my knowledge, that I was being recorded at all. I have a friend.
Well, that's bad.
Who, I worked with plenty of times outside of Mr. Beast. Just thought it was just like a normal call, just checking up on him, him checking up on me. And, when two people speak about old places, there's drama, there's gossip, there's catching up, there's, et cetera, whatever. And then the next thing you know, 2 weeks later, DogPack releases like a 12 million view video where, I just have a really crappy voice changer over my voice. And
so far what's been established is the guy that Soggy is talking to is the guy in the recording. He was not told he was being recorded. He wasn't told what the recording was going to be for. He didn't even know DogPack was making a video on Mr. Beast. He thought he was talking to somebody. He thought he was talking to an old coworker and letting off steam. Because like he said, sometimes you just talk about stuff that happens, like rumors and stuff, to go ahead and catch up, right? So
side of Mr. Beast, just thought it was just like a normal call, just checking up on
video games. What am I gonna make you? It makes you angry. I apologize, but I mean,
him checking up on me. And when two people speak about old places, there's drama, there's gossip, there's catching up, there's
see, just like he said, there's drama, there's gossip, there's catching up. I'm smashing my head into the desk right now. Awesome. Do an extra one for not us. Don't do that. Disavow. Never mind.
Next thing 2 weeks later, DogPack releases like a 12 million view video where, I just have a really crappy voice changer over my voice. And if you know me, like, it's me.
So was the entire call basically just rumors you were talking about with a friend?
Yeah, it's just a friend. We're
crazy.
And, we're just gossiping a lot, catching up on, the current drama. Like, it's just, it is.
It's no wonder why DogPack didn't want to put names to the people he was using. Probably because they weren't consenting.
Nothing crazy.
Like nothing you said had any actual facts behind it, as they tried to construe in their video.
No, I don't think any of the stuff that we were talking about really had any facts or like evidence. It was just water cooler talk.
So, a big growing company that just happens to have a good amount of employees and a bunch of people sitting around talking and gossiping and bringing up drama. He decides to go ahead and talk about all of that with a former employee, catch them up on the swing of things like you do. And DogPack took that as, now's my chance to go after him. I'm hearing all this gossip. And the problem is that you're using this person here, and yet you're wanting to go ahead and accuse Jimmy of using people. You want to accuse Jimmy of not caring about people, or that alleged, date rapes was happening with LaQuia Hill, all of this stuff, but yet you don't even get consent to put people's quote unquote testimonials out there. Like, DogPack, I'm just saying, you can't go around, you know, throwing accusations about people not caring about consent, but then not care about it yourself.
You say them using the call recording unconsensually in their video has damaged you or your life in any way?
Yeah, unfortunately. To say that it hasn't hurt me financially would be just a lie. You know, mentally, it's hurt me as well. I mean,
and that's the thing too, like, yo, what's up, Richie Dubs? Yeah, that's the thing here too, right? Is that he could have been innocently talking to, or he was under the impression of innocently talking to DogPack, right? And then you turn around and it comes out on this 12 million view video, and people, like he said, if you know me, you know that's how I talk. He could very easily have gotten fired for this because, you know, DogPack didn't care. DogPack didn't give a shit about him learning anything or about this guy's job or about the potential of him losing a job by being a leak or technically breaking an NDA. Like, he could very easily have just lost his entire career right there because DogPack wanted to make a name for himself, which is complete bullshit.
I was manic and crazy for about a month and a half trying to just watch relationships like fall through my fingers. You know, I lost someone that like was pretty close to me as well. You know, it just wasn't a good scene. So financially and mentally, it really messed me up.
Do you feel in any way like tricked, deceived, or used?
I mean, yeah.
Of course, dude.
Say that
yes, dude. There's no way you don't.
Trick or use is an understatement. Like, they knowingly came and did this. You know, I had like 3 or 4 contacts call me the night that it dropped, and I was watching the whole video.
Yes, Richie Dubs, you did get a membership. I think it was from Mono.
Trying to figure out like what they were talking about, and when it got to that recording, my stomach just like sank.
All because of a call that they unconsensually recorded, which you clarified was basically rumors and gossip.
Yeah. I didn't want to be involved with, didn't even know what was going on, that, you know, I was just thrown into unconsensually. And yeah, you said it, man. I just did.
Now, of course, depending on where DogPack lives, it could be a single party state where it means that you only need consent from one person to be able to turn around and record. So that's entirely something that might not be a legally viable avenue. Although if it is, brother, please, by all means, explore that avenue. These people need to get sued, man.
Threw a pretty big wall up in the progress of my life, and I didn't feel like that was needed.
And like, not even just potentially losing a job. He could have lost so many different friends too, because you have to think about it, right? Like, he probably was, again, venting to who he thought was a friend, somebody that this was never going to come back on him. Now, of course, you should always speak like you know, like it's going to get around to whoever you talk about. But at the same time, it's like he probably could have lost some people because, you know, even if he wasn't talking about them, they could just not trust him anymore because he made a stupid mistake trying to trust somebody like DogPack.
And pretty upset.
But then, what about Jake the Viking's tweet about Jimmy's mom literally allowing her then barely of age son to knowingly be in contact with and hire a pedophile? First of all, have you thought about...
Yeah, there's no way, dude. I don't... You have to be smoking straight reefer, bro. There's no way a parent is gonna see their child's entire life taking off at an alarming rate, skyrocketing to becoming the #1 most subscribed YouTuber in the entire goddamn world. Okay, Mr. Beast has transcended YouTube and TV. He is now a legitimate entity like his brand is an entity now, right? And you honestly think that his mom is gonna turn around and be like, you know what would be good for you? Knowingly hiring an RSO. Like, come on, man. There's absolutely no way that this happened. Like, and if that did happen, I'll completely eat my words. But Jake, you're still not in the right for this. You're really not in the right for this. You knew he was hiring an RSO before he probably even knew he was hiring an RSO. Mrs. wants to go for a meal, so off, take care. Have a good one, Paul.
Just how fucking absurd that sounds. And second, Jake the Viking is a shitty person and untrustworthy.
Yes.
Even DogPack's friends agree on that.
Viking is not a good guy, and that's just an opinion based on his actions in my eyeballs.
Wow, DogPack and Jake Weddle falsely implying Mr. Beast intentionally hired a registered sex offender and created a nickname to joke about it within the company to then try back up their baseless claims by tricking an employee and recording him without consent? That's pretty messed up, Soggy. Yahoo! That'd be as shameless as falsely accusing someone of committing war crimes against the Geneva Convention in a consented to solitary confinement challenge where you'd earn $10,000 a day and can quit whenever you want and still keep...
Let's see, it says, yes, the United Nations considers sleep deprivation to be a form of torture and a war crime under the Geneva Convention and the UN Torture Convention. The UN defines torture as any physical or mental pain or suffering, and sleep deprivation can cause serious physical and mental harm. Yes, it can. It's also prohibited by intentional law as cruel, inhumane, or degrading treatment of detainees. So here's the thing. He wasn't a detainee. He could have left at any point in time. Literally, he could have walked out the door with all the money because he was making $10,000 a day. He could literally have walked out with all the money he had, and he did. And then he got paid more money on top of that too. What? There was no war crimes, dude.
Keep the accumulated prize money up until that point. During a time where we have multiple countries actively at war in the world with millions of people suffering because of it. Oh, wait.
Yeah, there's literally videos where you could find like videos of Gaza and like Palestine and like all the craziness that's going on over there. Like to try and call a game show a war crime is absolutely insane.
I go up to my friend, my good friend. He goes, "What? That's a war crime. We're not allowed to do that to terrorists."
Yes, we're not allowed to do that to terrorists during an act, like during anything. But you're not at war with these people. You are not a detainee. You are not captured during the heat of battle. You are not a prisoner of war. You are there on your own volition. You're literally there to make money. Like, you signed up for this.
Oh, good. 24 hours breaking the Geneva Convention, I guess, is what we're doing.
You know what? Let's ask
barely
Dustin
last.
about that, because ironically enough,
Lasted only a day, huh?
Dustin is the good friend of Jake Weddle who made those war crime comments. And I can prove it with Jake Weddle's own words.
One of my dear friends who I believe I lost is the same guy who did the war crime joke, which turned out to not be a joke. He got...
Was a joke and then turned out to not be a joke. Here we go, guys. Already setting up the defense of, oh, wow, it could have been a joke. I don't know. I just rolled with it.
Injured, and Mr. Beast, and that's because of Viking. On that shoot, everybody else had to stay behind and clean up. And Viking said, fuck that, let's just throw all of this over the side of the mountain, like littering in a national park. And my good dear friend, who I kept saying was one of the good people over there, said, you're not going to do that. I'm not going to let you do that. And Viking said, watch me. And he did it. But my friend gathered up all the stuff he could to make sure there was just that much less litter. And that's a really good thing to do. He carried everything he could down the mountain, and he broke his ankle. They said, yeah, you were carrying too much stuff, right? Yes, he was. Because that guy's a saint.
And blame me for our friend Dustin. I'll use names.
Cam Nuggets. The #1 sweeper for DogPack and Rosanna.
Our friend Dustin falling and breaking his leg. Or not his leg, yeah, his ankle. I'm sorry, falling and breaking his ankle.
Now, why would someone who Jake Weddle himself, who is clearly against Mr. Beast, describes as one of the best people he has ever known, who literally broke his ankle trying to prevent littering, and in Jake's own words is a saint?
Because that guy's a saint.
Go rogue to try and correct defamatory statements made against...
So you're saying that newborns aren't committing war crimes despite keeping their parents awake multiple days in a row? I think an argument could be made for that, Wolfman.
If Jimmy committed war crime, the war crime stuff was 100% a joke. I'm now a producer, but I was originally hired as comedy writer with Jake Weddle, so I just wanted to cheer him up with a dumb and edgy joke. Oh, so it was a joke.
Of course it was a joke.
Actually did say the war crime stuff as a joke. Okay, that makes sense. Because in a follow-up video of Jake Weddle's and DogPack's interview, Jake Weddle seems to slip up, saying it was a joke.
He's the same guy who did the war crime joke.
Before quickly correcting himself.
Which turned out to not be a joke.
And his videos are pretty unedited, so he might have just accidentally let it...
That's what we like to call a Freudian slip. That's what we like to call a oopsies. Okay, that's him turning around and being like, oh, he made a joke. But I guess it turned out to not be a joke, because after I looked it up on WebMD, they said I had PTSD. Like, come on, dude. There's no war crimes going on here, bro. You're just a soy boy. You couldn't handle it. That's just it. Like, that's the bottom line. And the fact that Soggy was able to get the guy that actually said this to him on record with his like actual like information out there, dude. They did all of these people. This is what it sounds like. It sounds like Jake Weddle, DogPack, and whomever else they're talking to. It sounds like they were talking to these people who were still working at Mr. Beast, like Jake the Vike, like all of these different co-workers and all that, and they were talking to them, gathering information, and these people were the secret, the anonymous sources, right? And then what ended up happening is they put all of this anonymous information out there. These people found out about it and were like, whoa, we need to correct the record here. That's what it sounds like. I mean, we haven't had a new DogPack video in a while, so
slip through the cracks. And just to be clear, I'll show the clip of DogPack's 13 million viewed video again, in which Jake and DogPack clearly insinuated it wasn't a joke.
Yeah.
I go up to my friend, my good friend.
My man, Ray.
Not turn the lights off. Up to my friend, my good friend.
My man. I'm sorry. I'm a kid.
Fact clearly insinuated it wasn't a joke.
And I go up to my friend, my good friend. And I go, they're not turning the lights off. He goes, what? That's a war crime. We're not allowed to do that to terrorists. Oh, good.
Yeah, exactly. Even though the definition literally disproves their own accusation, since Jake Weedle he's not a detainee. He wasn't captured. He's not a POW. He's not a detainee. He wasn't during a war environment. Like, no, that doesn't apply to him.
24 hours breaking the Geneva Convention, I guess, is what we're doing.
No,
it's a really big allegation to say that like Mr. Beast took away your agency and in a sense kind of like forced you into doing this.
Yep.
But
I agree. That is very serious. That's why I alleged it.
And
what did that say?
I agree. That is very serious. That's why I alleged it. That's why.
Yes, yeah, for those who are not well versed in the law, this is complete BS. The guy was voluntarily participating in challenge and had the freedom to leave anytime he wanted. Yep, and he did eventually. Yes, he did. That is not remotely close to being a war crime. Oh, it is not. Prisoners of war are not able to leave. True. Their living conditions are not voluntary or self-imposed. Also correct. It's nice that they showed the definition of a war crime in the video. That's about as good as they did. Those with comprehension issues need to read the last line of the definition. Yes, specifically of detainee, which he was not. Who was a detainee, though, was McCain, whose plane got shot down, and he ended up, I think, captured by the Koreans, was it? And he was actually, he like had both of his legs got broken and everything, and he was an actual detainee. I best get to suing Amazon for war crimes then, because overnights got me staying up multiple days in a row. Exactly, Wolfman. Like, the dude literally got paid. He got paid like $190,000, dude. Like, that's insane.
I alleged it.
And the viewers clearly didn't think it was a joke either. But just as I will rip into Jimmy later in this video, I'll also investigate Jake Weddle's story in more detail later in this video. Because in between him falsely accusing Jimmy of intentionally hiring an RSO and comparing himself consensually agreeing to doing a challenge for $10,000 a day, being allowed to leave whenever he wants, to rape victims, and victims...
Oh yeah, that's right!
Being allowed to leave whenever he wants, to rape...
Yeah, Jake Weedle compared what he went through to rape victims. I forgot about that. Go up to a rape victim and tell them it's their fault next. Oh wait, that's exactly what Jimmy's fans do to the numerous allegations coming out from employees, contestants, you name it. Regular uploads, ugly duck worshippers, workshops, podcast streams, blah 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 blah. Wah wah wah. You know, here's the difference between you and the victims, right? One person is being forced to stay there. The other person is getting paid to stay there. That's that's like the complete difference there, brother. You're only getting paid $18.50 an hour. Oh, geez, Wolfman. I mean, hey, you know what? It's better than zero. That definitely does suck, though. You should definitely be getting more, at least in my opinion. God, Jake Weedle, you're an idiot.
Victims and victims of war crimes, even though he knew that was a joke.
The same guy who did war crime joke.
As well as spreading fake AI-generated incriminating voice recordings.
Oh, yeah. So if you guys don't know about this, Jake Weedle reacted to a AI Mr. Beast video, lets it play, the entire video lets it play, and then at the end, well, you'll see.
Recordings of Mr. Beast.
So if you're not looking at the disclaimer, it says this is a Soggy serial disclaimer. What, like, the audio is AI generated and it's sped 1.5 times.
It's only I'm just putting my options right here because you're supposed to launch the voice today. Jake knows what he wants. Jake knows what he thinks he needs. He's supposed to be our student. He didn't follow that dream. He has no idea how much fucking money I spent on that video to subscribe it. Jake, I really think the problem. I think it's positive.
That's right. I got that sent to me, and you know what? That was AI.
He waits till the end. Like, dude, he is so dishonest. He is absolutely dishonest, bro. Like, how is that not a disclaimer you put at the beginning? Dude, you're a failed comedian, you're a failed YouTuber, you're a failure in general. You're just a failure. Like, there is no other way to describe you, man. It's just unloading trailers and loading trailers. Oh, okay, Wolfman. This is maliciously, like, this is maliciously intended. Like, there's no other way about that.
We say that before playing the recording because you worked at Mr. Beast.
What's up,
and you know
Doza?
how people will just watch the recording and then click off.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they're going to just, he put that there in the first 30 seconds to grip people in, and then he waited, like, the amount of time between the video starting and the disclaimer, bro, like, it's crazy.
The video without ever hearing your disclaimer that it was AI generated.
Yeah.
But then you wouldn't get as much money from views because this AI generated disinformation video is the one that got your channel monetized.
That's my brand.
Yeah.
Is being honest and crying a lot.
And then after making
It's not a
this
brand. Being honest and crying a lot isn't a good brand, dude. I mean, honest, you're not even honest. Surprised he didn't leave it as a cliffhanger to disclose the recording as AI for the... Oh, I know, right? Like, between him and DogPack, their level of promotion for shit is insane. Never forget. Never forget the chat leaks contained alleged CP.
There is claims except another $50,000 from...
Yeah, and this, if you guys don't know, like I was saying, this is Mr. Beast reaching out to Jake Weddle here, this loser on your, that was on your screen, this loser here. He reached out to him and offered him $190,000. The remainder of what was in the remainder of basically what he could have earned.
Jimmy with no strings attached. There's a lot more to be said about it.
That's my brand, is being honest and crying.
Lies about the Delaware situation, lies about war crimes, fumbles in every interview talking about the solitary confinement challenge. Yes, he does. Compares himself doing a consensual 10,000 day challenge to unconsensual rape victims. Also true. Takes an extra 50K from someone after slandering. Yeah, and that's the crazy thing too. Like, Mr. Beast, like, here, right? If we read this, it says, hey, I wanted to reach out and say I didn't mean to cause you mental stress with that video, and I apologize. Clearly it had an effect on you. You mentioned you'd like to be paid out the rest of the prize money, the other 190, and I'd love to make things right with you. I have zero expectations of you mentioning me sending you this money publicly or taking down any videos. This is just me wanting to help out and make sure you're good. I just need to know if you still use the same bank or not. We'll send the money on Monday. Literally, okay, Mr. Beast watched this guy make a hit piece on him, and he goes, you know what? I feel bad for that guy. Let's give him an almost 200 grand. Like, he got $110,000 for staying in a room for 11 days right? And then he got another 50 on top of it because that's all he took from the 190. He literally got $160,000 from Mr. Beast for staying in a room and making a hit piece on him. Jake Weedle should never be trusted for anything ever at all. There's no way. Like, anyone who thinks he's credible is an idiot, and it just put a scratch and sniff at the bottom of the ocean and tell him to go try it out, okay?
There's a lot more to be said about it.
That's my brand, is being honest and crying a lot.
No, your brand is being a soy boy loser.
And about how
and then you turn around and do this whole woe is me BS when everybody points out that you're a soy boy loser.
DogPack manipulated him. But let's first continue with all of the lies and manipulation of DogPack404. Now, for the visual learners watching, you'll see that I have behind me a wall. And this wall features most of DogPack404's accusations, and I say most because at this point there are just so many that I might have forgotten a few, and every time I disprove one of his accusations, it'll be crossed through with red marker. Every time I prove one to be uncertain, I'll add a blue question mark to it, and every time an accusation DogPack made is true, I'll add a green check mark to it. And I know that
I don't think there's going to be a lot of those.
And everyone else wants to know about the illegal lotteries. Did Mr. Beast really commit 3 million?
Now, here's the thing. Your brand is being a soy boy. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Mono. Listen, here's the thing about the whole, the lotteries, right? This is what I'll say about it. Is it provable? Is it provable that he did do it? I think more than enough lawyers, like actual lawyers, have come out, from LawTube and have turned around and said yes, that like at least that these could be considered, illegal lotteries. But this was, again, also done when he was building his brand. And as big of a creator as Mr. Beast is, I don't think he ever was like huge into the gaming commentary space, because that's when like giveaways and stuff really got outlawed by YouTube, because people were saying like, oh, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment, and you might be able to win a free Xbox. So it was just a way to like game the system. And it's a little difficult to turn around and be like, this was such a big thing back in like 2010, Jimmy, you should have known about this.
Malicious and predatory illegal lotteries.
But it's like, it was more so like, okay, he tried to put on this thing and it was most likely unintentionally illegal. I'm not gonna like hit him for this, because time shows, like the timeline shows, he stopped doing these things. So legal probably hit him up and was like, hey, listen, man, we just realized we weren't in compliance all those times. Not every single time.
Does get rich quick scheme? Well, I will talk about them throughout my video in between all of the other accusations, starting right now with the alleged illegal lottery number 3 claim of DogPack404. Or should I say doctoring up evidence to make more convincing claims you knew to be untrue. Pack404. Yeah, Dawson, I'm the first one who noticed. See, for the third illegal lottery, by sure to be in a video live stream, DogPack claims they only informed people on the website that no purchase was necessary. But did you read the description? The description which I got via the Wayback Machine, where it literally says free entry available on site? Oh, but wait, you never actually found the description of that video, did you? You just made it look that way by doctoring up this fake YouTube UI. So you'd be more convincing and it'd look as
but the main commentary community is terminally online and think everyone else on the planet is just as terminally online as them, so they wouldn't care. I hear you, Wolfman. Mr. Beast watch commentary or not? Yeah, exactly. So dude got exposed. Like, Soggy just exposed him for not even finding the original video. All he did was have a clip of it, and then he put up a in-post YouTube AI. Like, so what that means is like what you're watching YouTube on right now, like the phone or a laptop, like the way you're watching it, he literally just took a clip and then faked everything else. He didn't find the actual video. Dude, DogPack can't even like take the effort to go find the video that he's claiming proves his point.
Literally says free entry available on site. Oh, but
either that or he saw it and was just like, well, that doesn't work with my narrative, let's skip.
Wait, you never actually found the description of that video, did you? You just made it look that way by doctoring up this fake YouTube UI. So you'd be more convincing and it'd look as if you had access to the original
That's
video
crazy.
and description. So people would more easily believe you. But I want you, the viewer, to closely...
That's crazy. He faked recording a video, dude. How lazy do you have to be?
Compare these two layouts. This one is the UI when he talks about the buy a shirt to be in my video live stream, and this one is the actual current YouTube UI you see whenever DogPack shows a screen recording of public videos you can still watch. And when putting the two side by side, you can see that the UI for the illegal live stream is not the real YouTube UI. Instead of rounded corners, they're sharp, the likes are gone, the upload date is in a completely wrong spot where it has never been, and the button sizes and title font just seem off. And no, it's not because he found an older YouTube UI via the Wayback Machine like I did, because they don't hide likes, and YouTube has never had this exact UI. Sure, it had sharp corners once, but not in combination with these exact other UI elements. But you want to know the funniest part?
Crazy,
even
dude.
the re-uploaded version that DogPack found and then added the manipulative fake YouTube UI to actually had copied the original live stream's description. So even...
So he couldn't find the original video, found the re-upload, and then just faked everything around it, and didn't even stop to check the second line of the description that says it, like, that completely disproves his accusation of there not being a free way to a free entry.
In the re-upload he found, it says that there's a free entry option. Yet he still doctored up this fake UI to make his intentional lies more convincing. Nah, I'm just kidding.
Oh
The funniest
my
part
God.
is that Mr. Beast verbally says it on stream.
Go shopmrbeast.com, buy the shirt or hoodie. You can be one of the people that come down and compete in the video. There's also a free entry on the site as well. If you 100 of which are going to be picked from, people that buy this shirt or hoodie, or if you enter for free on the site as well, that's an option as well. So,
oh my God, you're
Dude.
so sneaky. And when someone is prepared
In the video you're using to show that he was faking lotteries literally disproves, bro.
to doctor up evidence,
It's malicious,
to make
dude. It's absolutely malicious at this point. Fuck this guy.
It automatically puts every single one of their accusations that isn't bulletproof
exactly.
into question. So,
And it puts everybody who is teaming with him, like Rosanna, Jake Weedle, anybody who's made accusations against him, any of that stuff, it puts all of them under the same exact terrible lighting as DogPack, because he is seen as the one that needs to be trusted, because he's the one who's spearheading this.
throughout this video, you'll also see that there are multiple examples of him leaving out crucial details from evidence that would
Oh yeah, I don't doubt that at all.
easily disprove the accusations he's making, because Dawson loves framing things deceitfully to push his personal agenda.
And you know what's funny? You know what's crazy? And Soggy's gonna get, hey, what's up, Neon? Soggy's gonna get into this a little bit later, but his entire pitch to Mr. Beast as to why he should work there is because he knows how to manipulate the algorithm, manipulate viewers, and manipulate people who manipulate the type of people to watch him, right? Like that was his whole pitch to Mr. Beast. He's like, I know a way we can manipulate the algorithm. We can do certain things in videos to make people watch and believe us. Like his entire thing, his entire pitch to Mr. Beast is, I know how to manipulate people. And nobody found that suspicious that was his selling point and then he comes out with all of these videos about Mr. Beast, and everyone just seems to forget, like, he pitched the fact that he is a manipulator to Mr. Beast as why he should be hired there. Apparently, you're not supposed to put lemon pepper in eggs. That I disagree. You could definitely sprinkle some lemon pepper on eggs, bro.
Dashboard. We just have like a random number generator, and then like we just put the number. Like there's 1,000 orders, we just put it, picks the number between 1 and 1,000. Then my people give me the name.
Wait a second. Mr. Beast is only picking out of the Shopify list? Well, does that mean he's only giving away to paid entries after all? No. You can be part of a Shopify giveaway without having to make any purchase whatsoever. These are some generic examples of how to enter Shopify giveaways for free on the official Shopify website. Mr. Beast scamming someone out of a lifetime of dog food and then tried silencing the so-called victim on Reddit?
As far as fake giveaways go, I'm sort of limited in what I can say without exposing confidential information and getting sued. So my official statement is that sometimes things slip through the cracks, and personally, I believe that is intentional. Here's one example where someone on Reddit posted saying that they were promised free dog food for life in exchange for letting Mr. Beast use them in a video. 5 months later, they still haven't received their dog food. I actually sent this post to someone who works at Mr. Beast, and they said they were going to send it to the PR team, and then the Reddit post got taken down. So I don't know if it got resolved.
Not true.
So, okay, here's pretty much what he said. I have a story. This is my story. I can't prove what has happened past this moment, but you should totally use this as a reason to believe that he unintentionally doesn't do like giveaways. Your Honor, I investigated up until the point where the defendant looked good for the crime. I think we're good. I don't think I need to do any more. I don't think I need to do any more investigating because I might prove him to be innocent. So if we could just wrap this up real quick. Oh my God, dude. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened after it. I'm just gonna assume because he took his post down, he got silenced. Mr. Beast just went in there like John Wayne Gacy and or no, whoa, hold on, not John Wayne Gacy, John Wayne, just regular John Wayne. Don't come after me, Mr. Beast. That was an accident.
Here is a message from the Reddit user.
Dude, he even got in contact with the Reddit user. This guy went all out, okay? Me and a bunch of people got screwed over by a big YouTuber, Mr. Beast, and I don't know what to do. See, and here's the thing. Anytime something like this pops up, because they made such a massive spectacle about the whole blind people thing where they're like, see, freaking, Mr. Beast doesn't care about people. He's just an evil person. He didn't pay these people. And then it comes out that they're just like, oh yeah, by the way, guys, something happened with a third party. Mr. Beast didn't know about that. As soon as he heard about it, he stopped using the third party and just paid us directly. So you can't turn around and use that as a moral grandstanding and be like, see, and then the actual people come out and go, guys, we apologize. It was a huge misunderstanding. We were in the wrong for assuming it was done maliciously. And you don't see DogPack and Rosanna turning around and going, oh, it looks like we got this wrong. No, they just moved. They just were like, what? I mean, yeah, of course Jimmy's going to say that they messed up until they were called out. Like, no, this stuff happens, dude. He's a multi-billion-dollar industry at this point. He isn't there signing every single check, signing every single deal. Stuff happens. Okay, if Amazon can send you something that got broken, does that automatically mean Jeff Bezos is a terrible human person and he broke it before he sent it out? No, it doesn't mean that.
They're stating Mr. Beast did reach out to them as well as everyone else.
Hi, so I did confirm that you reached out to Natalie and I got a call from Jinx to give us the free food. Natalie just confirmed that all the other people got the same call, and then I will edit my post stating that there was some kind of communication error, and Mr. Beast's team has reached out and fixed the problem. Thank you for responding and getting the issue resolved. You know what's crazy? You know what's absolutely crazy? DogPack could have been the guy to make this happen. And that would have made his video be so much better. He could have reached out to this person and he could have very easily turned around and been like, see guys, I had to reach out to this person. Like, I reached out to him. I got him in contact with my people over at Mr. Beast that I knew. They worked it out and they got all these people their food. Like, I'm doing actual investigation. No, he just sees a Reddit post get deleted and he's like, I bet Jimmy called the Men in Black and they went over there and they just you know? Like, oh my gosh, he is not content brained enough or investigative brained enough to know what he should be doing. Like, this is insane.
Apparently this user just hadn't noticed at first because the MrBeast company's email went to the user's spam folder. The issue got resolved, and then the Reddit post got deleted.
Sometimes things slip through the cracks, and personally, I believe that is intentional.
Oh, the new Feastables formula has more sugar and calories than Hershey's?
Okay, the whole Feastables thing is just stupid. Listen, with how litigious the United States is, if what Mr. Beast was saying was not FDA like correct, right? If he was lying about the serving sizes, if he was lying about how healthy is it in comparison to Hershey's could very easily make a like it would be very easy for them to just point it out that, you know, there would be a campaign showing, no, Feastables aren't more healthy or aren't, you know, the caloric intake that they are compared to Hershey's. But no, DogPack404 thinks he's got it all figured out.
He's changed the formula again to where it has mostly the same ingredients as Hershey's and even more.
Oh my gosh, but you can even see right here, look.
Change the formula again.
Look at Hershey's 43-gram bar. Feastables 60-gram bar. Yes, it's gonna have more calories and more sugar because there's more there. You idiot, there's 17 more grams.
Where it has mostly the same ingredients as Hershey's and even more sugar and more calories per.
Because it's bigger! It's a bigger serving size, you idiot!
Well, that'd be pretty messed up after MrBeast actively advertised his chocolate to be healthier than Hershey's. Luckily, it's just another lie. DogPack is being deceitful here because he's comparing a single serving sized 43 grams Hershey's bar to a 2 serving sized 60 grams Feastables bar. Instead of
which means that the one, if you were to cut it in half, one would be 20 grams, the other one would be like 22.5 or something like that. Yeah, 22.5. Dude, he's just, this is the thing. When you lie about the small things like this, it absolutely destroys your credibility for everything else. That's the whole reason why you shouldn't be getting these tiny things wrong. Like, you can even see clearly on his own freaking... on his own thing, man. 43 grams versus 60. Come on.
Again, deceitful here with 2 serving size 60 grams Feastables bar, instead of comparing it to a 1 serving size 35 grams
exactly
bar. Well, if you recalculate the ingredients of both to 43 grams, then you'll see that Feastables still has less sugar than Hershey's and actually has less calories than the previous formula.
This pit is fake.
No, it's not. Here's footage of them digging the pit. You know what? Here's a crew member's footage of the 2 non-CGI buses and non-CGI train being in the pit after they drove them in there.
Shredder is CGI.
Nope, at this timestamp they do shred an actual Lamborghini in a legitimate shredder. But I will say that when they use CGI, it looks fucking terrible, as if it came straight out of a CW show.
This car is digitally lifted.
This car isn't digitally lifted, however they did change the original red coloring to blue to make a visual distinction between the first rocket car they launched and failed, which was red, and the second one they launched, which succeeded but was also red. Because they were scared that both cars being red might confuse the audience, so in post they just changed the second one's color to blue, but there was no digital lift.
And here's the real question. Who cares? Who cares if it's digitally edited? Who cares, dude? Like, even if the car was digitally edited, like, okay, for the launch, like it making it, I understand. You're like, oh my god, but it's not like, you know what I would care about? Is if like the blind video where everyone can see if like the surgery was like digitally edited and was AI, then I would care, man. But digitally changing the color of a car or digitally lifting a car, like, I don't care, dude. If a pit was fake, who cares? Like, it's meant for entertainment. He's not doing it like, he didn't turn around and go, guys, if you give me $1 million, then I will make a pit. And like, you know what I'm saying? It has, oh my god, it has no validity on how good or bad the video is.
what you're saying, the things that you're saying are truly in good faith.
Oh, the Oompaville interview.
And that you're not a disgruntled employee.
You can watch my video and like view it through the lens of, oh, this guy's just a disgruntled employee.
Because you
but the
are.
evidence still speaks for itself.
Of course.
But the evidence still speaks for itself.
Yeah, exactly. What evidence?
DogPack404 actually
What
upset an
evidence?
engineering YouTuber who passionately worked on that rocket car for months to get it working, just to have this goober claim that it's fake. But Dawson doesn't care about collateral damage done to others. He
Yeah, the raccoon was a paid actor.
doesn't mind throwing people in front of non-CGI buses to push his own agenda. He did it with the rocket car YouTuber. He did it with that tricked employee's phone recording they showed without his consent. He tried doing it with me by calling me over dramatic, pressuring me into making a video accusing Mr. Beast with uncertain and refutable evidence, which by
he's literally just Mama Max but for Mr. Beast. That's literally what it is. He's just Mama Max but for Mr. Beast. This is insane. He copied Mama Max, man, bar for bar, word for word. He took his whole swag, man. Oh
now
my
I know to be
gosh.
untrue, which he doubled down on, by the way. Every other commentary YouTuber did it without getting sued. Even though just because a lot of YouTubers tried milking the situation and
Fucking more Pegasus.
threw unsubstantiated, easily disprovable accusations out there for clout, views, and money without getting sued, doesn't make it an okay thing to do, DogPack.
Here's the thing, buddy. They can't, depending on what they say, right? So it's one thing, like if you put out misinformation, right? Like if I were to say something that was untrue, and then other people made a video on something I said and continue to push that narrative, they themselves would have a much better argument of not putting out misinformation because, see, they were given bad information by the person putting it out. The person putting it out is the one who's going to get hit with slander most likely because they're the ones who fabricated it. They're the ones who put it in that type of a light. They're the ones who edited it and made it look like that rather than it actually being that way. So it's entirely possible, you know, like most likely DogPack and Rosanna are the ones who are going to get hit with the lawsuit. And then everybody else is just probably going to want to either unlist their videos or take them down in some other way.
Or do you think it's acceptable to make false CP allegations? Which, maybe I should talk about that for a second.
Freaking
in a
crazy,
recent video on
dude.
Rosanna Pansino's channel,
Crazy.
DogPack404 claimed to have access to leaked work chat messages.
And it
with,
wasn't even
one
a
of
leaked
them
work
being
chat.
Ava
It wasn't
Christison
real.
distributing alleged CP of Ivanka Trump. Except DogPack doesn't always use the term alleged.
Yeah, this is the most disgusting one by far. Well, actually, the CP was probably more disgusting.
And I've used that. Oh, I love this video. Hold on.
This is the most disgusting one.
I
by
love this
far.
video
Actually,
so much.
The CP was probably more disgusting.
And he also proudly admitted to having downloaded that uncensored alleged CP on a now deleted community post, and admits to having reverse
He didn't use
searched what
he didn't use the video. That's one of DogPack's greatest hits, bro. And the work chat contains alleged CP. That's a DogPack greatest hits.
he thought was CP in the video.
Oh my
Obviously,
God.
Dawson French himself was called out for owning and reverse image searching what he
Dumbass.
believed was fucking CP, because that is weird and a crime.
It's it's illegal. Listen, the only reason why any amendments happened when it came to the whole DogPack Rosanna, 1,000+ leak chat, the only reason any amendments happened to that is because they realized that they were complete idiots and might have just thrown themselves in with being as bad as or as bad faith as Chris Tyson, or even worse than Chris Tyson.
Under First Amendment rights and are illegal contraband under federal law. Legal definition of sexually explicit conduct does not require that an image depict a child engaging in a sexual activity. A picture of a naked child may constitute illegal.
Yeah, we went over
He
this.
deleted that community post to then lie about never having had the uncensored CP on someone else's YouTube video. Funny thing.
Well, not even that. Even in the Twitter comments, he was saying, "Oh, we never did this," or "We didn't even know what it looked like." All these other things. But I mean, you're literally in the video. It says censored in post. So
The thing is that it only took 1 hour for people to find this tweet about that exact picture of 18-year-old Ivanka Trump being in a GQ magazine.
Yeah, shout out to Damaged and Gamma on YouTube and on Twitter, because Damage actually found this GQ article plus the Twitter that had the entire twit thread of this GQ article of Ivanka Trump and of the P&O photographer. So shout out to all of them for, you know, doing way better work than DogPack ever could have.
It legitimately took 1 hour. 1 hour to not falsely accuse someone of distributing CP.
It's like he constantly lies to get himself out of trouble, and only when he's run out of lies and in face of a serious trouble and he's run out of options does he reveal the truth. And he tries to pull the LOL I said allegedly thing again. I said, as Ava alleges, I said, in my opinion, I said, may, I said, if.
Yeah, this is the most disgusting one by far. Well, actually, the CP was probably more disgusting, but...
It only takes one slip up, y'all. That's all that it takes is one slip up.
So either DogPack knew that it wasn't CP and made those false accusations anyways, or he's just a fucking idiot who can't even use Google. But that wasn't the...
Here's the you would have to think that they might just be dangerously stupid. That might just be what it is. Like, they might just honestly be that freaking dumb. So I don't know if that's the case or what, but I can't help but think that this dude is they're just idiots, because knowingly putting that out there, like if the group chat ever leaks or if someone ever comes out and says that they knowingly put out false allegations, it's over. Like, there is an insanely good case for defamation and for a lawsuit. Can't help but hear that Twoon guy who was behind Instagram wake up when I close my eyes and hear Soggy.
Only line in that video, was it, Dawson?
This isn't a work chat. This is just a small snapshot of a company chat, but it's, I think, one of many. I've heard that there's other company chats that they communicate on.
Yes.
And
it wasn't a work chat.
Yeah,
it was created as an NSFW meme chat by already known degenerate Ava Christison. There's even examples of
and there is multiple work chats. We've only seen the one work chat. We haven't seen the others.
Ava getting mad whenever anyone talks about anything work related.
This is just a small snapshot of a company chat. Small snapshot of a company chat.
Wait. All of these, it didn't become a group chat until way later. And then once it did become an official group work chat, it died out, like on Diorio's stream, how he shows that it just completely died.
You're saying the things that you're saying are truly in good faith, and that you're not a disgruntled employee.
You can watch my video and like view it through the lens of, oh, this guy's just a disgruntled employee.
Is it just me, or does this guy look like a lizard of some sort? Like, come on. I don't mean to be a dick, but like, he absolutely looks like a freaking lizard. Like, the way he moves, just the face he makes.
You're saying, the things that you're saying are truly in good faith, and that you're not a disgruntled employee.
You can watch my video and like view it through the lens of, oh, this guy's just a disgruntled employee. But the evidence still speaks for itself.
However, at one point it was changed to a work chat by Ava, at which point she also kicked everyone unrelated out of there. But then
so deceitful, so freaking deceitful to take one screenshot from months after months and months of it being a meme chat and then turning around and being like, oh, well, you didn't know that, or are you sure it never was changed to a company work chat? And it's like, yeah, it did become a company work chat, then it died. Like,
chat instantly died because
and that doesn't mean anyone's defending what was in the group work chat. We're just saying that you misinterpreted it, and not misinterpreted it. You intentionally put information out there to make it seem like it was actually worse than what it was, you know? In this video, when he was talking about the CP, he was licking his lips like a lizard. He might be related to Zuckerberg. Dude, but come on, look at DogPack, bro. He looks like a lizard person. I'm just saying. Like anytime he like moves his head, just think like how lizards do, where they're like, or I guess snakes. But like, he looks like a freaking like a gecko or something, man.
No one else, including Jimmy, wanted to use it as a work chat. Now, I will say that even though this image is confirmed not to be CP, Ava did seem to think it was at the time, and so this proves that she is even worse than we thought. And
no, okay, that's one thing I have to turn around and say. Yes, she absolutely is a terrible, terrible human being. Yes, she thought that that picture was of somebody. But the way it was framed, it was like, so this is allegedly of, and that in and of itself, I can't say, oh, she's worse than what we thought she was, because everyone already thought she was a pedophile. So like, what's worse than that at that time? But no, yeah, she's a complete and utter degenerate. I don't agree with this new information making her some sort of new tier of degenerate. I think it can be like put in with all the rest of the other shit.
And is a disgusting individual. However, the way DogPack tried distributing what he believes was a picture of a sexually abused child to thousands of possibly child viewers wasn't to inform people of degenerate Eva Christison, but instead was to push his own agenda, framing Mr. Beast into allegedly knowing that Ava was a confirmed pedophile.
Right.
It's so disgusting. See, I say framing because if you look at all of the messages around that image, it's a huge rant from not just Ava but other people as well about pedophiles exposed by the hacker group Anonymous in this.
And that's the thing, like you're never going to get like everything from them. They're never going to turn around and be like, oh, this is like they're not going to go one by one through all the different chats that are in the chat log, because it'll start to humanize these people that they're trying to turn around and say are terrible human beings, right? So it's just it's complete bullshit, dude. Like, the fact that these people are able to get away with this, they're just complete fucking just pieces of shit. Absolute pieces of shit. Oh my god. And I absolutely hate that they're getting away with it too. And I wouldn't have gotten away with it if it wasn't for you meddling commentators. Of which I do not believe I am any of that, so, you know.
Twitter thread she linked with that picture of Ivanka Trump, because it was in that Twitter thread, as well as a rant about Jeffrey Epstein and billionaire pedos. And I don't think context matters here on Eva Tyson's side. I still think this is fucking disgusting. However, I do think context matters for the people perceiving Eva Chris Tyson's messages.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but if
because they tried making it seem like they were totally okay with Chris Tyson doing this.
See my friends actively ranting about pedophiles and
Alright, people, I have to step away for a quick second. I will be back.
bashing them, I'd actively be convinced to not think they're a pedophile when...
Is 11:18 too close to 11:21? I guess you're gonna find out once you crack open the eggs.
They send degenerate memes like this? I just cringe on the inside while thinking that they have a degenerate sense of Zoomer humor. Even Trey Yates, the person who leaked the work chat to DogPack and Rosanna, refers to those memes as...
So he also got the guy who leaked the audio, or he got the guy who leaked the group chat to an interview, bro.
A weird thing Ava found funny in the past instead of confirmed pedophile messages.
A lot of the edgy type of content and a lot of the edgy cringelord humor started with Ava. Of course, like she sent a bunch of messages that probably shouldn't have been sent in a work group chat.
True.
Just because she thought it was funny at the time.
So even he, who actively dislikes Mr. Beast, didn't even notice.
So with all this evidence, I think it's definitely fair to say that Jimmy knew about Ava Tyson's behavior.
But Soggy, Rosanna Pansino and DogPack404 reported Jimmy Beast to the FBI, so he's gotta be a...
Yeah, listen, just because you reported somebody to the FBI doesn't mean they actually did it.
Pedophile. I think people vastly underestimate just how easy you can report someone to the FBI. Even as a non-American citizen myself, I just created this entire forum of Rosanna Pansino and Dawson French, aka DogPack404, distributing CP in 2 minutes on tips.fbi.gov, which I will now submit to the FBI. Soggy Serial reported Rosanna Pansino and Dawson French to the FBI. Holy shit, they've gotta be guilty now. See what I did there? Also, I didn't submit this because unlike 2 other creators, I'd rather not waste the FBI's time from finding actual CP distributors to push a selfish, manipulative, and personal agenda.
I disagree. Totally do it, bro. Go for it. 100%, dude. Fuck him. Fuck look, screw this 5-head ass bitch over here, and then this soggy bottom bro over here, man. Nah, report them.
Manipulating Rosanna Pansino so you could use her bigger channel to spread this disinformation is so vile. Look, I knew you were Betty Dawson, but I never expected you to stoop this low. He also tried dragging the famous anime Higehiro and its fandom through the...
Yeah, so if you don't know about this one, basically, we've gone over this as well. They made an accusation that was incredibly incorrect, so... about the anime.
But by saying it's about a 26-year-old having a romantic relationship with a minor.
Let's see if Jimmy knew about Ava's concerning behavior. June of 2021, he sends a message.
Listen, there's a few like areas on the internet you don't want to mess with, right? Animals being one, anime being another, K-pop being a third. But if you're gonna talk about an anime, you're gonna want to get it correctly, dude, because some of these people, are a little on the spectrum, let's say, and they might turn around and correct you in the worst way possible.
Of an anime called Higehiro says, I bet Chris would love this show.
What's this show about?
Well, it's interesting that you ask, because this show is about a romantic relationship between a 26-year-old salaryman and a 17-year-old high school runaway.
Oh, Jimmy and the...
And you know what's crazy? You could literally I'm pretty sure you could just go to the wiki page and read the damn Wikipedia on it, and it'll tell you what it's about.
Chats is saying, I bet Chris would love this show because it's right up her alley.
Why do you think Chris would love that show, Jimmy?
And Mr. Beast saying Ava would love this? Even though the anime is about the exact opposite.
Yeah.
Posted that one thing about the anime with the like.
Oh my gosh, freaking Cam Nuggets is same goes for wrestling and comics. That wrestling and comics mixed is a whole different breed, speaking as a member of that. But yeah, exactly. Like if you get things wrong, like when I ever have conversations, because I am a nerd and I have conversations with friends, I'm like, okay, well, what universe are we talking about? Are we talking about comic books? Are we talking about the movies? Are we talking about like TV? Are we talking about, because there's the cinematic universe, right? Then there's the TV universe, then there's the comic book universe. Like there's so many different ones, like they're all different, man. So you can't, it's just crazy. The amount of research that it took to find all of these things that are wrong is insane.
A doll getting into a relationship with a...
That's okay. Here's the thing. That's a lot.
Now, I do shout out to Himpleton for this, but unfortunately, Himpleton has to take a massive L as he unknowingly told on a live stream, by the way, unknowingly hinted at the fact that he was helping Just a Robot behind the scenes to make a comeback video and address like all the allegations against him. That was on, Chud was watching that earlier today, so yeah, Himpleton. And then there was also Emro too, who got beat by Aiden, and yeah, there's some craziness going on over there and that's the smaller, because we're at 1,000 too, but like, they're way more used to streaming than we are, but there's some people in the whole Just a Robot drama that are going a little crazy.
That is such a bullshit lie. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Now I got livid because someone had the audacity to compare Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio to oh my gosh, the Joker and Harley Quinn. I'm very close to going full PS3 COD lobby on that person. Wolfman, you got to, bro.
Literally said,
we have the time. No.
Literally said, I think
context.
Chris would like this. Why would he say that though?
No, the context of that anime, that show is about a 26-year-old guy. Okay, he takes in this runaway girl who is selling herself to prostitution. She's like 17 or whatever, 16. I don't remember. She's 17, 16. She's selling her body because she ran away from home because some other shit happened. And I remember this because my friend tried showing this to me and I'm like, what the fuck is this? It turned out it was actually a very wholesome show about this dude kind of teaching her like how to get through like all this trauma that she had in her life. There was never any romantic intentions there. Sure, if you watch the anime in the first episode, the girl was coming on to him, but the guy rejected her and saw her as a daughter. that whole show. He had a whole nother love interest in that show this whole time. This was never about the dude getting into a sexual relationship with a 17-year-old.
You guys actively pissed off
And it got community
the
note.
entire
Yeah.
anime side of
Yeah. You can't screw up like this, dude, and not have people who love freaking anime, dude. Like, listen, the people who like anime are way crazier than the people who enjoy like No Country for Old Men. Okay, let's just be honest here. They are the people who are willing to like Naruto run into Area 51. Okay.
Twitter with this one. So this again,
They got
more so
flamed.
proves Jimmy didn't know.
So with all this evidence, I think it's definitely fair to say that Jimmy knew about Ava Tyson's behavior.
Wanna know the worst of all? DogPack and Rosanna used what they thought was a CP picture as clickbait for their fucking
And as
thumbnail.
promotion.
Even A/B tested 3 versions of it. You know, just try.
It's an A/B test. What alleged CP was gonna be the best? Your Honor, my client isn't guilty. My client's not guilty, okay? They did not, they listen, they might have downloaded what they thought was CP, unedited it, then edited it, then put it on a thumbnail, plus put it in a video, and tested that alleged CP 3 different times. But they did it for all the right reasons. Oh my god, dude. These guys are idiots.
Trying to get some more views by putting alleged CP in your quirky thumbnails. Will the allegedly abused child garner more views with a red background or the pink background?
The
Following
pink
their
background.
logic, they are now both confirmed pedophiles.
If you see somebody wearing a Naruto headband, you know everything you need to know about them. Based. That is true.
Then should have 100% known that of one another. I can't, dude. I can't.
And that's not to say Naruto's a bad anime or anything, but listen, there's a difference between the people who enjoy anime and then they turn it off and that's it. It's cool. They'll talk about it. Then there are people who are like, I gotta learn every single hand sign. Like, I gotta know how to do Chidori. Like, you know, there's don't get me wrong, growing up, like, you like that type of stuff. You're like, oh, we're, you know, just a bunch of dumb kids and whatnot. But once you start getting older, you're like, okay, can't do that no more. The manga is better, Wolfman. I definitely agree with you there.
And this video, where they do all this, a DogPack dares to try and invalidate my past accusations that his video IDs he came up with while working at Mr. Beast were weirding and creeping employees out.
I suggested a video for breast cancer awareness about buying 1,000 boobs. Which, like, maybe not the most professional way to phrase it, you know, it's a little clickbaity or whatever, but like the actual video is supposed to be paying for mastectomies and cosmetic surgeries for breast cancer survivors.
That's amazing. That's wonderful.
With a thumbnail and title like these? Oh, wait.
Yeah.
If this wasn't supposed to be creep.
Listen. Just look at the face that's on your screen right now and tell me that that person does not look like a lizard. Come on. Like, look at the face. Look at this face right here. Tell me that's not a lizard, bro. I guarantee you he freaked out every single female coworker he worked with. I guarantee you he, like, every single time he got into some sort of an issue or some sort of awkward moment with the coworker, he was like, oh, I'm just joking. Or I was just joking with you, bro. I was just joking. It's Schrodinger's comedian, bro. Anytime they're put into a position where it's basically like with Just the Robot and Cinebear, right? When he's like, oh, you want to see my cock? And then he waits like 1 to 3 minutes for a response and then turns around and sends a picture of a rooster, right? And it's like you're like, oh, you know, it would be funny if we got together. Ha ha, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. And then when it's obvious that they don't like you, you're like, I'm just joking, man. I'm just joking. DogPack is as trustworthy as a broken flight of stairs. Yeah, you're not wrong, Fact. He looks like a kicked out weeb. Then again, he has no credit as a human. That's a good one, Neon. In my opinion, the manga is better than the anime, just like the books are always better than the movie / the TV show. This is the way I look at it. It's the manga, then it's the TV show, and the movies are hit or miss here and there, you know? Prove he is human and not a biological robot. Neon, if he was a biological robot, don't you think he'd be smart enough to get this stuff correct? You know, this guy's he's a complete dunderhead. He's just he's an idiot.
You're weird. Then why did you make sure to blur the title?
Who looks more like a lizard or gecko? DogPack or I'm Alex. You know what's funny? They both have that super long jaw, right? Like they both have that like super long jaw, that extended jaw.
Thumbnail when showing it on screen. Don't be shy. I still got the sharp version.
Yeah,
it was because 4 objectified headless pairs of boobs with the Mr. Beast clickbait face and the title "I bought 1,000 boobs" wasn't in line with your "I'm not a weird creep" agenda you were trying to push. Yeah, this it's about cancer awareness message seems more like you realizing your manager didn't think that joke objectifying women was funny, and you're then desperately trying to save your own skin by you know, using cancer, especially when you also sent in these work IDs such as Baby Battle Royale with babies carrying assault rifles, or
AI art.
Mr. Beast does every drug challenge.
Yeah.
Were those, also for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Also,
and here's the thing too, right? Here's the thing. You can't, like, if you want to be taken serious, right, you can't turn around and be putting out all of these like jokes, right? Because it's obvious that it's not a joke. What it is it's him being like, oh, you know, it would be funny if we like dated. Wouldn't that be funny? Oh, you know, just in case, you know, you don't think that would, oh, well, it's just a joke. I'm just joking. Like, that's literally what it is. I guarantee you he's used that as a pickup line before, where he's like, you know what, people say we would be a good couple. And then when the person turns around and they're like, ew, he's like, I know, right? Like, ew, like, ew. Like, that's the type of DogPack. That's who DogPack, like, that's the characteristic I get from DogPack, okay? So he bought 500 women? Yes, Wolfman, 100% bought 500 women. I don't even know who you're talking about, but yes.
Didn't you say that Mr. Beast is mainly targeted toward kids?
Encouraging like almost children simping for these people. I would say he's gained most of his audience since then, and his content's only gotten younger. Now, Mr. Beast intentionally manipulates these children's vulnerable minds.
What happened to that claim? Look, I expected them...
Anything... listen, Wolfpack... DogPack is like Midwestern weather, okay? You gotta treat everything he says like Midwestern weather, because it can change up in an instant.
At the end of the video to say that it was some twisted parody. But nope, they seem pretty proud of their slanderous content where they admitted...
Oh, Wolfman, it would have been 100 boobs, so it would have been 50 women, not 500. But I think it was 100 or 1,000, one of the two. Doza, appreciate you, brother. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. We appreciate you tuning in. So basically he was trying to, I think was giving like women free mastectomies or something like that, trying to basically turn around and go, oh, well, it's for like breast cancer awareness or something, you know, so.
Committing multiple alleged federal crimes. So, same time next week? But his collateral damage doesn't end with allegedly abused children. He also uses old people. For example, he tried using contestant 58 from the ages 1 to 100 video by claiming that he didn't really wink.
In this video, this wink was added in post.
And that number 58 didn't hear number 42 getting out of the booth.
In fact, 58 was actually on the far opposite side of the room from 42, and he just didn't hear him.
And because of that, number 58, a 58-year-old man, was so confused and getting harassed online to the point he felt that he had to make a TikTok about it.
Hey guys, Mr. 58. It's been a while since I've posted anything.
Oh, his dog is blind.
Really been concerning me a little bit. I've been seeing things on the internet that...
And you know what's worse about this, right? You know what's absolutely trash about this is that DogPack is having zero care about any of it. Right? Like, he doesn't care that people are being harassed based off of the allegations he's putting out. He doesn't care that real world people who are not used to being internet famous or having some sort of internet presence online are being attacked. Like, this is obviously just some regular dude who's hanging out with his blind dog. You can see the cataracts in this poor dog's eyes, and he's getting so much harassment by the mouth breathing, foaming, foam lip retards that follow DogPack, and they're the ones who are coming over here and harassing this dude.
That have said I didn't wink in the Mr. Beast video 1 to 100. I did wink.
DogPack gives off that I removed my muffler because it makes my car sound better energy. Yeah, bro, he's probably got a lowered Subaru with a fart can in there.
I winked a few times, as a matter of fact. The other thing that's been said is I didn't hear 42 say he was stepping out of his cube. Yes, I heard 42 say he was stepping out of his cube. I did it on my own accord to step out with 2 seconds left on the clock. I know of nothing in that video that was staged whatsoever, and I don't know why these rumors.
But who cares? This is the other thing. Who cares? If his wink was added in post, who cares? It doesn't change the video at all. If he couldn't hear the other guy from across the room, who cares? It doesn't change the fact of the video. I'm pretty sure it doesn't change the fact of the video. I don't know. I'd have to go and watch the entire video, but I highly doubt that matters. Unless it's like a competition where it's like, oh, like you can only leave once somebody else hears you leave or something. I don't know the video, but I feel like even if those two things were true, it wouldn't matter.
They're going over the internet that these things didn't happen. Everything that I did in that video, and nothing was.
Oh, it looks like the dog's only blind in one eye.
Edited after the fact. Everybody be good and have a great day.
This is just sad.
And the worst part about this is it's exactly like what Kristen Hark says. As like these bread tuber-esque type people, these people who are just wanting to throw out all allegations as soon as possible. They don't do any sort of amendment. They don't fix anything. They don't turn around and go, oh, actually, this guy came out and debunked one of the things that I said, because it's not on brand for them. They want to put out as much information as they can as soon as they can without actually having to turn around and be held accountable for it.
Not mad seeing this old sweet guy get so upset. And what was DogPack's proof for these claims? Well, I've got to preview the 1 to 100 video once, so now you've got to believe every baseless claim I make around it. Because you're so trustworthy, Dawson. I'd rather believe the sweet old guy who literally was in the video.
Everybody be good and have a great day.
He did it with Mark Bates, a random subscriber contestant.
I subscribed to Mr. Beast and literally won $1 million. I literally was in this video here, and all I did was subscribe. I had no relationship with Mr. Beast or anything like that. And
why couldn't it be me?
They flew me down to North Carolina. I live in Cleveland, and changed my life forever.
That's
literally
awesome.
All I did was subscribe.
Who won $1 million and then made a video after winning that prize, which DogPack just took a very out of context clip from.
Another example of things slipping through the cracks.
The second thing that I probably would do different is invest.
Oh yeah, this is abhorrent, absolutely abhorrent by freaking abhorrent. This is shitty of DogPack.
I talked to Jimmy after I won $1 million, after I finally got the remaining amount in my bank account. I was telling him, I was like, man, I don't want to fail. I don't want to be like how everybody's saying, like I'm gonna run out of money and do all this crazy stuff. I was like, man, Jimmy, please help me. And he said he was gonna help me and we was gonna invest, but yeah, that didn't happen. So
oh no, he didn't invest.
Now, even if we're just taking that, right? It still doesn't matter. It's not his job. Like, sure, he probably said, hey, man, yeah, I might, maybe I could help you out, right? Maybe I can, like, give you some pointers on what to invest, where to invest. Things can get away from him. It's not like he turned around and was like, yeah, bro, we're locked in. I have a contract. We're going to, do. It happens. People say, hey, we might do this, and then they forget. But at the end of the day, he still gave the dude $1 million for absolutely nothing. Now, let's hear the remainder of that portion of his video.
For more! Oh wait, what's this clip right after? Which DogPack conveniently didn't put in his video?
Invest, but yeah, that didn't happen, so. Yeah, and let me clarify, Jimmy did help me. Because I know, like I said, I know y'all be like,
oh, he didn't help him enough.
He did help me financially, but like giving me money he did give me funds.
Oh, so Mr. Beast still funded Mark even after winning and spending the $1 million? Okay. Apparently they just had him on a monthly salary at the Mr. Beast company without him having...
Dude, it's like DogPack paints it as, okay, this guy, he got $1 million, he blew it all, and then he asked Mr. Beast prior to blowing it all, like, for help, so he didn't blow it all, but then he blew it all and Mr. Beast didn't help him. That's the DogPack version of events. The reality of what happened is, dude got a bunch of money, spent all of that money, and had previously gone to Mr. Beast saying, you know, hey, I don't want to just blow all my money like everybody does, right? They don't end up chopping it up. He doesn't help him with like investments or anything. The guy ends up blowing all of his money. And then what does Jimmy do? He makes him a salaried employee. He gave the dude $1 million, and then when he blew all of it, he gave the dude a salary. If somebody gives you life-changing money, it's not also their responsibility to teach you how to use that money. Exactly, Thack. But not only, listen. Jimmy didn't teach him how to spend that money, and that's just like, you know what he did instead? Gave the guy a job. He gave the guy $1 million and then steady income. Bro, this is so like egregious. Like, oh my god, dude, that's so wrong.
To perform any work there. Well, this guy,
he literally just put him on. He was like, what'd you do? You spent $1 million that was given to you freely? All right, bro, you want a salary on top of that $1 million?
Guy's a victim. Mark Pate himself was so fucking frustrated from DogPack using this out of context clip to push his personal agenda that he made 2 more videos speaking out against all of the DMs he was getting from DogPack's followers.
Okay, so if you didn't catch that, this guy right here got upset with DogPack taking his video out of context and apparently made 2 response videos, which is what we're about to watch. Or clips of what we're about to watch.
More videos speaking out against all of the DMs he was getting from DogPack's followers.
Channel everywhere. You guys been saying that I'm a victim of Mr. Beast and that he didn't help me. You've been talking about everything. It's not my story. So I really wanted to get up here and tell you guys that Mr. Beast really did come through for me, Jimmy. I love you.
DogPack doesn't give a shit about who or what he...
Back $1 million and then a salaried position just because, yeah, it's a lot more than just reasonable, bro. It's life-changing. Where in the world, dude, listen, think about the lottery, right? The government gives you $1 million, you waste all of it. Well, not even $1 million, right? Like 700,000 because of taxes and everything. And then you turn around and you're like, oh, damn, dude, I spent all of that money. And then the government turns around and goes, that's okay, we'll give you a job. And you don't even have to do anything. We'll just put you on the salary. Like, it's way more than reasonable. It's almost like it's unheard of, which is why it's so crazy. It's so crazy, but this guy is being portrayed as a victim of Mr. Beast rather than, you know, just somebody who was incredibly lucky.
Uses or whose life he ruins just to push his own narrative, and it's fucking disgusting.
It is.
Showing out of context clips and snippets is something that DogPack does a lot, by the way. He also did it with Mac when Mr. Beast asked him what he was gonna do with the $800,000.
Exactly, Thack. It's 100% like winning the lottery twice. That's exactly what it is. It's like really good paying disability. Yeah, exactly. Like the dude, like, yeah, I don't even, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like his level of charity is insanity, you know?
He won.
What are you gonna spend the $800,000 on?
I've got 3 friends of mine, childhood friends of mine, and they don't have a lot of money. I'm gonna make sure they don't have to worry about money anymore.
Hell yeah.
I mean, my life's changed now.
Oh, wow. He's gonna give it to his 3 less fortunate friends? Well, that is so kind. Let's see what Dawson made of this.
Bathrooms.
What are you gonna spend the $800,000 on?
I mean, my life's changed now.
Yeah, I'm sure that $800,000 is really gonna change your life.
Oh, he got that.
Okay, how is that not true? $800,000 would absolutely change anybody's life unless they are already having higher income than that.
That whole part out to insinuate Mac was gonna spend it on more bathrooms in his huge mansion that he didn't even have.
Mac started working full-time on the editing team at MrBeast. Also, he didn't just move into any old house, he moved into a $1 million mansion. His 6,000 square foot $1 million mansion comes with a movie theater and 7 bathrooms.
See, I saw the actual property listing and, well, obviously I can't show.
Listen, you want me to believe that he went to go work for MrBeast and they just gave him a mansion? Come on, dude. Like, if anything, that goes to show that Jimmy's actually a really good guy. The guy came to work for him and then you accuse Jimmy of giving him a mansion. How is that bad? I mean, it's not true, but even if it was true, how is that a bad thing?
You've got to trust me on my word. But the house is on the name of another editor at MrBeast, which Mac was sleeping over at because he himself didn't have a house. But Soggy, didn't you expose Mac for being a liar? Why are you now picking his side? I don't pick sides, nor do I just blindly hate every person I criticize.
Thank you.
What am I? A disgruntled employee acting like a toddler? Mac left Iraq after all. And by the way, I've never seen Mac try and use fake CP to push a personal agenda. Also, DogPack, take that clip from my video out of yours. Cause now you're using my content to push your lies.
Over the next 7 days, I'm gonna be giving 1,000 random people that subscribe a free Samsung Galaxy S24.
How is this legal? I don't get it. All you have to do is subscribe to your channel.
All you have to do to enter to win one of these phones is subscribe.
It's a scam. Holy shit.
The Samsung giveaway was legit. Here you can see old testimonies from random subscribers.
Now, back in the day, this did used to get looked down upon, okay? Where, like, people were gifting. They were like, oh, we'll give you this random Xbox, or we'll give you the new PlayStation if you just comment down below, favorite the video, leave a like, leave a blah, 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 blah. Like, gaming commentary as a whole cracked down on that. Like, YouTube cracked down on that. People, like, because White Boy 7th Street was doing a giveaway, like, every single week, and it was pretty much cheating the algorithm because, like, favorites and likes and comments obviously boost a stream or a video and gets it onto the For You page and stuff like, or not For You page, but gets it onto the home page. All of that stuff was, like, kicked out a long time ago, or at least had better, had more stricter regiments on it or rules on it. Gave a mansion and you can stay here while you work aren't the same. Exactly, dude. Exactly. The guy literally got flown out to do a challenge and they basically bought a mansion, I'm assuming for all of product, for all of the producers, the actors, and everybody who is going to be partaking in that video. I'm sure that's what it was for. Just like people who go and get an Airbnb when they're like on set, or they go buy a house, you know, like, or they rent a house, like just for the same for movie stars.
Who won and got contacted by MrBeast. Also, PewDiePie never bashed that clip. It's just another example of DogPack's manipulative editing. Now, even though we've only touched the tip of the lies of DogPack iceberg so far, I preemptively want to ask Dawson, why would you knowingly spread all of this disinformation? Now, DogPack,
for money, bro.
You really shouldn't say because it would make you look real dumb. Is either
he mentioned the fact that he is not a professional journalist or investigator, just a guy throwing allegations around for other people to properly investigate.
As you did in a desperate attempt to save the little credibility you had left after falsely accusing someone of domestic
that surprise
violence
witness
and kicking their dog in your third video. Because this is what you said in your first video, which I'm also disproving.
And I don't want to put a lot of like hearsay into this video.
Literally everything you have said has been hearsay. This person told me this. This credible source said this. Here's a screenshot of this person who allegedly is saying this. Like, every single thing you have put in every one of your videos is hearsay. Like, DogPack is worse than a possessive petty ex. Yes, Yes, they are. Yes, he is, man.
You should just believe the receipts that I'm showing you and not what I'm saying.
Well, I've looked at the receipts, Dawson, and so far they're telling me that you're a lying asshole. And before you try and defend yourself with plausible deniability, I'll just play this clip.
Mr. Beast knows this, but you know, he's a poker player. He likes a little bluffery, a little plausible deniability.
Okay. Mr. Beast is not a poker player. Let's not forget he lost in a poker game to Keemstar, which was like, I don't know, a couple 100,000 or a couple of 10,000 or something. And in order to get out of debt to Keemstar, he gave him freaking PewDiePie's play button. Dude isn't good at poker.
Also, me disproving cheap attempts at slander from this guy doesn't mean I'm defending this guy. I know a lot of people believe in the delusion that defending Mr. Beast is the safe option.
No.
I know there's people have been living under a rock lately, but defending Mr. Beast right now
what's going on, Andrea?
Career suicide while regurgitating DogPack's life.
Yes, defending Mr. Beast. You can't even, it's not even defending Mr. Beast. You can't even turn around and point out the points, the parts of DogPack, Rosanna, Jake Weddles. Like, you can't even go against the narrative and turn around and say, okay, that doesn't seem true. That's not correct. That's hearsay. You can't point out the parts that are wrong with the video without people turning around and going, oh, so you're a pedo defender, you're an RSO defender, you're a rape defender. Like, you can't get called. You just get lumped into all of this, man. It's crazy. Nobody's saying, listen, nobody is turning around and saying like, oh, Mr. Beast doesn't deserve criticism, but people are saying like, yes, he deserves criticism, but correct criticism, otherwise you're screwing up the entire thing.
This is the easy and safe way to generate millions of views and hundreds of thousands of dollars. But in my opinion, blindly taking either side should be heavily frowned upon, because
it's like trying to defend any of Taylor Swift's exes. Yeah. Yeah, that's another mob you can't screw with.
there are some very questionable and fucked up decisions Mr. Beast has made that he needs to be held accountable for. And I'll get to that. However, to effectively criticize him, help genuine victims, and hold him morally and legally accountable, we must first clear the table of all of the lies that have been spread by Dawson French, aka DogPack404, such as the lie of Feastables using child slavery. It takes a single Google search to find several public articles to prove that from October 2023, the same time when they took their slave-free banner off of the Feastables website, they've been in talks.
See, this part I didn't even know about.
To join Tony's Chocolonely's open chain ethical sourcing and
US-based Feastables snacking group founded by YouTube influencer Jimmy Donaldson, aka Mr. Beast, has joined Impact confectionery group Tony's Chocolonely's open chain ethical sourcing initiative, writes Neil Barson. According to Tony's, the two organizations have been in conversation since October 2023, signed an agreement in March 2024. So DogPack is alleging that Mr. Beast uses slave labor, and here is an article showing that he is utilizing Tony's Chocolonely, who is actually a sourcing group for chocolate that uses zero child slave labor.
Initiative, and did so officially from March 2024, which, if you don't know, Tony's Chocolonely's is a Dutch chocolate brand known for their goal to produce chocolate as ethically as possible, and one of few companies legitimately doing so. And now Feastables is the first major US-based company who joined them with the goal to...
Dude, not only is it a part of the organization, it's the first major organization to do it. Oh, this dude is an idiot. Like, how hard is it to just do a little bit of research?
Actively reduce child labor and slavery in the chocolate production process. But then, why they take slave-free banner off of Feastables' website?
Now, I know the question to this, but here's the thing, okay? If you do not know why the banner slave-free was taken off of a Hershey's bar tailored to kids in 2024, if you do not know the reason for that, listen, there's only one of two reasons, right? Either it's no longer slave-free labor, or they decided marketing-wise that's not a good promotional thing. Shoe factory, not show. Okay. Sadly, most of our clothing and electronics are made with labor we don't want to know about. You are not wrong, Andrea.
Well, dear DogPack, already typing that question up on Twitter, you can literally read the answer on the Tony Chocoloni's website. Why did you make the switch from...
He couldn't even go to the website. He couldn't even just type in the website, dude.
Slave-free to exploitation-free. We've adapted our mission messaging to help us express the scope of impact work we do today. When Tony started, we were laser focused on one issue in the cocoa industry, but as we've grown, our areas of impact have grown too. Our mission statement needs to be inclusive of all the work we do today, from addressing multi-dimensional poverty to remediating child labor and everything in between.
Those poor Oompa Loompas. Yeah, Wolfman, they finally unionized. Don't worry about that. They finally unionized. The Oompa Loompas are fighting back. Or, Andrea, or rather, we wish it was adult, well-played labor. Yeah, it's an unfortunate situation. We can't force other countries to change it up, but yeah, it does suck. But hey, at least Mr. Beast is making the effort to only partner or try and partner with companies that pride themselves in not using any level of slave labor.
Wow, it took one Google search to not falsely accuse someone of using child slavery? Yes. For the people who don't know, DogPack did falsely accuse someone of DV and
yes.
AV. Mr. Beast, DogPack404, put out his third video.
We all know the Jake Warren stuff, or the freaking the Warren shit. Yeah.
Mr. Beast's secret CEO, in which he was later proven to have accused an innocent man, James Warren, Mr. Beast's cousin, of domestic violence. He later admitted this on Twitter after his own source disproved him, and he looked into it himself, only to find out he accused the wrong guy.
That slanderous video is still up, by the way, after more than a month.
So it has been taken down since this video has come out, or probably even before this video came out. The Oompa Loompas merged and became one big named Oompaville. Sadly, their brain cells did not merge. Yeah, you say what you want about Oompaville, man. He makes good videos in his own lane, but that fluff piece of an interview he did with DogPack was just disgusting, in my opinion. What gay thumbnail was that Jake Paul? Which one are you talking about?
Mr. Beast, DogPack404, put out his third video, Mr. Beast.
Oh, so yeah. So this is that thumbnail right here is supposed to be LaCoya Hill, I'm assuming, and then two other gay people. I don't know. But yeah, it was hilarious. There was such unnecessary visuals in that video, man. Like freaking Jimmy being in a whitey tighty, like just having it all out there. Like there was unnecessary to have that.
Secret CEO, in which he was later proven to have accused an innocent man, James Warren, Mr. Beast's cousin, of domestic violence. He later admitted this on Twitter after his own source disproved him, and he looked into it himself, only to find out he accused the wrong guy.
That slanderous video is still up, by the way, after more than a month of people begging him to take it down. Disclaimer, he took it down a few days ago, but after almost 2 months and 3.1 million views, you're not getting off the hook that easily, Dawson. And the video of the false CP allegations is also still up. He also made live ruining allegations.
There it is. That's the one I was talking about. Why do these need to be up there? Why do these pictures need to be up there? They don't do anything.
Allegations against LaCoya Hill was the person that made the decision to fire.
He was going for shock value, but ended up just getting mocked. Yeah, probably Thack.
DogPack. Here's an audio clip from the leaked firing interview at B.
I definitely want this. I want this so much too. Older RuneScape soundtrack? Jesus Christ.
I'm our CEO. Part of my job is...
So if you don't remember LaCoya is the dude that he accused of like basically drugging and raping multiple different people at the company.
Yes, pushing back on everything that we're saying.
Or at least he pushed that narrative.
DogPack. Here's an audio.
Now you're gonna learn something crazy here in a couple of seconds, okay?
Video clip from the leaked firing interview at Beast.
I'm our CEO. Part of my job is pushing back on everything that we're saying.
So well, because you're trying to fire me, and I want to work at this company.
I'm the CEO of this company. If I'm talking, don't interrupt me. And I am telling you this is what's happening, and you're telling me that I'm wrong. I am not wrong. I've made the decision. Here, we will take care of.
I appreciate that.
Did you catch that? LaKoya, the guy he is accusing of drugging and raping members of Mr. Beast, like associates of Mr. Beast, is the same guy who fired him, the same guy who he begged for his job, and he turned around and said no. Come on, dude. And the fact that you don't disclose this, come on, bro. There's no way you don't disclose this on your hit piece of this guy. It literally just makes you look like a disgruntled employee.
Can I please have a second chance?
Here,
I love
I
this.
appreciate that. Can I please have a second chance?
Here, we will take care of.
I appreciate that. Can I please have a second chance?
Oh, that's like a breath of fresh air. Can I please have a second chance? Can I please have a second chance? I might make that into a soundbite for the channel. Can I please have a second chance? It's like, no, you can't. Fuck you, get out of here. You're trash. Been here for 3 weeks and all you've done is manage to try and get yourself a freaking Apple Vision Pro, man. Exactly, Andrea. Can I please have a second grape?
If I'm getting paid, just let me come in and let me try to be coachable. If Hoodie changes,
if I'm getting paid, just let me come in and try to be coachable. Bro, you should have been doing your job from the beginning.
I've been trying to get to this point of working on Mr. Beast for a long time.
I've been trying to get to this point and working for Mr. Beast for a long time. Yes, he has. Yes, he has. Every time somebody needs to get banned, play, can I please get a second chat? Yeah, I think I might take that and make it into a little soundbite. Can I please have a second chance?
Wonder why he's trying to destroy LaKoya's life.
I think there are other people at the company. If I were to switch departments, that would be very happy to have me. I don't care about the salary.
It's not what happened, dude.
Or Dog Scara.
She's your hiring manager.
Or put a picture of his manager on his psychotic wall for no reason but personal spite.
Ooh, let's go back and read that. So if we look here, he's not wrong. Like, that picture doesn't look like it's connected to anything.
Of his manager on his psychotic
So this picture is apparently a picture of his then manager.
wall for no reason but
And this is him reaching back out. He says, I get it, he's upset with the company. It was his dream job. That just didn't work out. But to randomly put me in there as a form of revenge in front of millions made me see his video through the context of someone with a grudge rather than fair criticism of things we could be better on, which is exactly true. It's 100% true. He just put his freaking face out there without like any... I don't know, I see a sheet of paper next to it, but I don't ever remember him going over, Hoodie in the video. I don't care about the salary is the most dangerous thing you can say to your employer. True. Should have went in VC yesterday in Local Live when I got banned. Maybe.
personal spite. Coincidentally, all three of those people were in the room when DogPack was fired.
I'm our CEO.
Car, we are still going to reimburse you.
This is the original contract and the original NDA. And so
It's like he's just doing all this out of a personal grudge.
Okay, so if you didn't catch that, hold on.
It's live.
I think there are other people at the company. If I were to switch departments, that would be very happy to have me. I don't care about the salary.
It's not what happened, dude.
Or Dog.
So Kara is one of the people that he is utilizing in his video, right?
Scara.
She's your hiring manager.
Or put a picture of his
Now Hoodie is another manager here. It was his then manager.
on his psychotic wall for no reason but personal spite.
So LaKoya, the person he made rape allegations against or has been boistering and putting further out the rape allegations, is the one who fired him Hoodie is one of the people who was in the room when he was fired, and Kara is the other person in the room that was there when he was fired. Coincidence? You be the judge.
Coincidentally, all three of those people were in the room when DogPack was fired.
Car, we are still going to reimburse you.
This is the original contract and the original NDA. And
It's like he's just doing all this out of a personal grudge.
Almost.
We'll lie if we have to. I mean,
of course.
I just try to be honest, I guess.
What is selfless hero? You know, a selfless hero who, whenever he can, mentions that he didn't make these slanderous videos with any personal gain in mind.
That's like the whole point of this is the video's not monetized. It's on a new account.
Wait, what do you mean that's the whole point? You didn't say that.
Like, you know, in the description of my video, it says, or in the intro too, it says this is not monetized. Because if it's monetized, then people think I'm just doing it for clout and money.
But you're doing it to expose the truth on woke media.
Exactly.
When did Ludwig turn into this? I don't remember. Okay. I don't know. These people seem like grads of clown college. Yeah, you're not wrong.
But you're doing it to expose the truth on woke media.
Exactly.
This is textbook manipulation.
On woke media? What does that even mean? What even, bro? When in the world? Okay, listen. Jimmy cannot be both seen as like okay with pedo jokes, but and be very you can't call somebody a boys club, right? And then turn around and accuse them of also being woke. So what is it? Are they exclusive boys club, dudes being dudes, bros being bros? or are they super woke lefties who are okay with pedos? Like, which is it, man?
Saying he's not gaining anything out of these videos is extremely deceptive. He gained 700,000 loyal subscribers, collaborations with huge creators, which he's clearly trying to abuse, and it's all built on lies, deceit, and manipulation.
Yeah,
if there
100%.
is one person who gained anything from all this, it's DogPack. And
yeah, he gained a very loyal following for who knows, like, just because he rode the train, broke the dam open, and everybody wants to get on a raft, right? And people were finding out that, you know, you're drowning out here in a sea of content, and people are like, hey man, can I get onto your lifeboat? And they're like, sure. Do you hate Mr. Beast? No? Well, okay, then I can't help you. Like, that's literally what happened. He caused this massive influx of drama in the commentary sphere that just created videos and videos and videos for people. But if you were going against the tide, you were getting sunk, bro.
Purely out of principle, I'm putting a mid-roll ad here. Here DogPack talks about how Mr. Beast scammed everyone by having people pay to get their memes sent to the moon, the rocket exploding, and them not offering refunds. First of all, people have shown proof of getting refunds even before the failed launch.
And this is just dumb. It's like, oh yeah, well, you know what? Mr. Beast built a rocket and it blew up. Like, yeah, that happens. You know how many Apollos there were before one actually made it to the damn moon? Like, NASA can't even stop their rockets from blowing up. And Jimmy did this with, like, you know, not at NASA. So, like, yes, there was complications.
Just because it took longer than expected. Second of all, have you thought about his second launch? And as usual, I don't just have to take Dustin's word for it. The news article, which you put in your proof document, literally states the following. However, failure would not mean the end for S Robotic, which is the company Mr. Beast paid to carry a copy of the hard drive filled with the memes. It's certainly going to have some impact on our relationships.
The second launch was in the second successful launch was in the original article you linked to prove that Jimmy didn't refund. You can't make this up. You can't make this up, dude. You can't. What? Dude, he literally linked people to an article that disproved him. And that just goes to show you how many people clicked on the article and read it, dude.
And our ability to secure additional missions in the future,
Oh
as
my
Robotic
God.
already has a contract to fly another robotic lunar lander mission.
Jimmy once pirated a video game. DogPack404 2025.
For NASA
Nice
later
damage.
this year. And this conveniently went unmentioned in your video.
Of course.
3 years later, the spaceship finally launched, carrying beautiful pictures of deceased loved ones to the moon, where they would be immortalized. It fucking exploded.
Okay. you can hate DogPack all you want. That was fun. That is way funnier and way more entertaining than he has ever been in all 3 of his videos combined, plus all of Jake Weddle's stand-up together, okay? Yes, Thack, it does prove that people just read headlines. You're not wrong. They don't care. They just like the flashy headline, the 30-second information. But this is funny. Okay, I have to give the DogPack
3 years
W
later,
on
the
this.
spaceship finally launched, carrying beautiful pictures of deceased loved ones to the moon, where they would be immortalized.
It fucking exploded. That's funny. That's good. I'll give him a W on that.
Side note here, DogPack also uses another very manipulative tactic.
But I will say what Soggy is about to expose makes this even, funnier, in my opinion.
He shows this stinky, dinky scrap metal rocket instantly exploding, which made people believe that Mr. Beast was really trying to nickel and dime this entire space mission, while in reality the actual spacecraft carrying the hard drive was a high-quality Vulcan Centaur rocket made in collaboration with NASA as well as the ULA.
DogPack just found a random video of a rocket blowing up and then put it in the video and pretended like it was Mr. Beast's rocket. Dude, imagine going to the police and you hand them a picture of a person and you're like, somebody stole my car, and you hand them a picture and they look at it and they're like, oh, okay, and they start looking for this person, only to find out that that's not the photo of the person who stole your car. It's just some random person that you just took out a random video and green screened him into it. He couldn't even find the original video. That's oh my god. So this DogPack sounds like their videos are one big dog pile of yes they are. Oh, that's like hand drawing the suspect instead of taking a picture. Yeah. Oh my god, he literally just typed in failed rocket launch and was like, yeah, that works. It's manipulative, it's misleading, it's misguiding. He wanted it to make it look like Jimmy freaking built the, nickel and dime version of Apollo 13. That's literally, he could have at least used the Challenger footage. You're not wrong, Wolfman.
Rocket, launching a new era in spaceflight to the moon and beyond.
Stinky dinky rocket, high quality spacecraft carrying the hard drive with memes from Mr. Beast. DogPack's manipulation, reality. But Soggy, what about the insider knowledge?
This dude literally spent probably millions of dollars to send memes into space. You have to think about that, okay? DogPack's accusation as to why Mr. Beast is a terrible person is because his first rocket that he spent millions of dollars on, most likely, blew up. And then doesn't even mention the fact that he spent millions of dollars again to then successfully send those memes into outer space.
He has from working there.
In my opinion, as somebody who worked for Mr. Beast,
it has been proven time and time again he only worked there for 20 workdays.
Yeah, this dude didn't even work there for like an entire, like, he only worked there close to a month, like 3 weeks, bro. As somebody who worked there, like, come on, man.
New employee in like a 250 to 300 employee company, you're not gonna get much credible insider knowledge in 20 days. But he also had anonymous text messages from ex-Mr. Beast employees. Well, see, I have 2 notes on that. One is that I feel like anonymous text messages can be used as tangible proof if either you have the receipts to back them up, or you as a person can be trusted to not have faked or manipulated them. Which...
Exactly. When you are using allegations from the shadows, because that's what anonymous allegations are, you only have two roads that allow you to be able to put out unverifiable non-direct verifiable information. Either your character is solid enough for people to trust what you say, or you have evidence to back up the allegation, right? So let's say that if somebody were to turn around and go ahead and say, I heard that, Alex broke into your car, like someone told me it was Alex, but they'd want to remain anonymous, or like they call the police officer and they're like, hey, this person has drugs on them, right? You can move off of that anonymous phone call. That's totally easy. There's nothing wrong with it. And they don't have to then, testify as to their knowledge of it. But if that stop leads to more, like let's say they take them over and they not only find drugs, but they also find guns and stuff, then it's potentially necessary for the person who made the anonymous tip to come in, because it's leading to a more in-depth investigation. Now that's all that. But to say simply this, you have an allegation that Mr. Beast did this thing, right? Person doesn't want to come forward. They don't want to out themselves. Totally understand. But you need to then have equal substantial evidence to show that he is in fact, was in fact culpable for doing these things. So if we look at Jake Weddle, he was accusing Mr. Beast of essentially doing war crimes, which we all know is BS. But if you look at the video, there is evidence of him doing sleep deprivation, because that was the whole challenge. So if he was accused of doing sleep deprivation, it's like, well, yeah, we have an entire video of it, but it's out of context. So those are the only two things. Either you have evidence to support the allegations that are anonymous, or you have credibility. And once your credibility runs out, it doesn't matter the evidence you have, because no one's going to believe it.
I don't think you can trust Dawson on that one. And 2, even if there's...
This soy dude seems like a clout goblin who went to work there just to get intel and got a dog pile of nothing. No, Andrea, I agree with you. He seems like he thinks he's more valuable than he actually is. He thinks he's a much bigger character than he is, right? He's too big for his britches. So he believes that he is just this God-sent employee to Mr. Beast, and probably had ideation of being in a video and being a manager and being a really good friend with Mr. Beast. And he seems like a parasocial fan who got the opportunity of a lifetime, completely fucked it up, and then turned around and went, oh, what? I didn't want to go out with you anyways. Oh, man. That's why Keemstar said he will never leak a DM. Credibility is more important. Yeah, credibility is 100% important. But sometimes you not wanting to leak a DM can hurt your credibility as well. So it's a toss-up.
Messages are from legitimate ex-Mr. Beast employees.
I apologize for the monologue.
They're wrong. This text, for example, which DogPack uses as a foundation for Mr. Beast rigging his challenges, according to them, after a shift change in the 100 Boys v Girls video, no girls were eliminated when closing off their circles, so it was pretty much rigged. They think? Okay, love the lack of confidence in their own claims, and the lack of confidence makes sense. Because if you simply watch the 100 Girls v Boys video, you can clearly see a girl got eliminated during that part of the challenge. And in this behind the scenes video, you can even see how many cameras they had to make sure the challenge wasn't rigged.
So we could constantly monitor it. This is the kind of stuff we don't normally show. We had to have 6 or 7 people here monitoring every angle because if they just touch the red line, they're out.
He also used this video as a...
You know what I think? Like one of the biggest thing, that's exactly right. He's a disgruntled parasocial. Yeah, exactly. Fact. Like, but you know what I think that this has really this probably has changed Mr. Beast Industries as an entire whole. I guarantee you, Jimmy, like since DogPack has come out, he has done like extensive changes in an effort to make sure that like from the beginning of shooting to the end of shooting, everything is captured, like all the behind the scenes is captured as much as possible in an effort, because if anyone ever comes out like DogPack again, I'm sure they want to be ready to be able to just dispute it, right? I mean, we've even done stuff like behind the scenes or whatever, and it's been recorded but then completely deleted because it wasn't necessary, or we've not like recorded stuff because we didn't feel it was necessary. I guarantee you, with all the accusations now, even with the Beast Game stuff, Mr. Beast is probably recording and archiving all the behind the scenes stuff.
Prime example of Mr. Beast never using random subscribers, even though multiple people who can be identified by their nameplate can be proven to be random, non-influencer contestants from outside of North Carolina.
They are never random subscribers. If you subscribe, you will not win $1 million.
I subscribed to Mr. Beast and literally won $1 million.
Oh, that contestant had to get up.
Dude, that cut, that is brutal. That is so brutal.
Are never random subscribers. If
never random subscribers.
you subscribe, you will not win $1 million.
If you subscribe, you will not win $1 million.
I subscribed to Mr. Beast and literally won $1 million.
Oh, that contestant had to get out for her job? I guess you forgot she's your hiring manager. I actually recognize a lot of people in this video, including Jimmy's own girlfriend.
Yeah, Dawson. Because they were filling in for contestants who had COVID at the time. You can see Mr. B's girlfriend publicly talking about this in a podcast from years ago, by the way.
I saw on your Twitter that you were in the video 100 girls versus 100 boys for $500,000.
Yes.
And that dude's got
that was an
big old
accident.
ears.
On the day, everybody had to go for COVID tests, and a lot of people came, got their COVID tests, and they tested positive. And the girls somehow ended up with way too little contestants. So I got a call randomly from the studio, and they're like, we need a female.
What, you wanted them to let contestants with COVID participate in the challenge?
And I guarantee you that, that's a bad pause. I guarantee you that he didn't even know about like the COVID testing. Because again, right, like it's so obvious, or it's entirely plausible that videos were being done during COVID that didn't probably come out until much later into COVID or after COVID.
As she also says that the contestants were informed beforehand that even if they lost, they'd still receive the $5,000 prize money.
Which was the plot twist. Even if you leave, you get to keep the $5,000, which makes it easier for people to leave the circle.
Yeah.
So the goal was, it was sort of a psychological test, really.
And the people know that if they left, that they would still win.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
There is literally never a loser in Jimmy's game. Now that's the scandal. Breaking news. Regardless if you win or lose on a Mr. Beast game, you will get paid. Waste $1 million? No problem. We'll give you a job. Didn't make it to the end of the round or didn't make it to the end of the game? Don't worry, you still get paid $5,000. Oh, what's that? You got COVID and couldn't participate? Here's $5,000. Like, come on, dude.
So that was the big plot twist, which I'm a huge fan of.
So not only were you wrong on all accounts, this is probably the worst video you could have possibly tried building your case on, that Mr. Beast challenges are rigged. And then your only other example of this accusation is the "in 10 minutes this room will explode" video.
I'm gonna show one more example.
Oh,
this is a real-time video, meaning that time.
Exactly, Thack. First one to leave, here's 5,000. Like, if you just wanted to go in there for 5 stacks, bro, just whoop. You just show up and you're like, hey, I don't want to be here anymore. Here's $5 grand. Okay, bye. This video is pretty good. It was funny watching this on Chud's stream yesterday. Yeah, I was watching it on Diorio's. My God, this is insane. This dude puts so much information into a single video, way better. Like, there is more information in this one video than all like provable information with facts and evidence backing it up than there is in every single DogPack video, every Cam Nugget video, every Rosanna video, every freaking Jake Weddle video, every Viking video and tweet. Like, dude, this blows all of them out of the water. And I have to agree with Nicholas Diorio, even though my word doesn't mean anything. This absolutely is the best like commentary video of this year. Like, hands down, this is out of the water, man.
The lapse is the same in the video as it does in real life, and the timer is clearly added in post.
Okay, this is just getting embarrassing at this point, but you sent me this picture, Dawson, to seem more credible by proving you were on the set of a video, and if you look real closely at the picture that you took, you'll notice that it's the set from the 10-minute video, where you can see that the timer was in fact not added in post.
So you could assume that producers might be off camera with remote switches to trigger the flow of water.
Assume my ass. You didn't assume shit, you're breaking your NDA by spreading confidential info you knew from being on that set.
Sue him. I am so against suing. I am so against NDAs. I am so against hush hush. I am so against catering your speech. But fuck DogPack, dude. Sue him. Sue Jimmy, please. Like, this is probably one of the few times where a creator punching down is going to get the support of the commentary community.
And yes, I do give permission to anyone whose life got damaged by Dawson French to use my video against him in court.
The producers
yeah, exactly.
might know how long.
Because here's the other thing, right? Here's the thing. If he wasn't supposed to have that information, they're gonna probably investigate and figure out who was working both on that set and working with him, and they might end up just firing people as a precautionary thing in order to just make sure that no more leaks, for lack of better words, happen. Like, he could literally cost somebody his job, their job, by breaking his NDA here.
It takes for
by sneakily breaking his NDA.
The water to clear out
allegedly,
so they can sort of decide on the fly how many turns of the valve it takes, or just when to trigger the water in general to make the results close.
No, they did it.
Okay, let's even before Soggy gets into this, let's just break this down real quick, okay? He's saying that while Mr. Beast has an escape room of somebody having to be submerged in what is probably hundreds of gallons of water, that there were people who were just there turning the keys, turning the pipes, the pumps, in an effort to maybe see on the fly how many turns it would. Are you kidding me, dude? I guarantee you they knew exactly how many turns were necessary to drain out the needed amount of water. There is no way that this person's life is put in jeopardy without there being ambulance off to the side, multiple I'm assuming engineers and stuff like that. It just makes no sense. We do a lot of things off screen for safety, of course, like the water valve thing. We needed to be able to remote trigger them, which we also had safety divers hiding. So I guess Dawson could say they also helped make the video more tense. It sounds like they had a ton of people there for safety protocol. Yeah, exactly. Like, you could literally see there was multiple people on the outside of it. There were literally divers on the inside of it. Like, dude, there's no way he's trying to, what is it? Is it either you had scuba divers in there, so the video was fake? No.
For safety, as to not force someone to exert extreme force trying to turn valves underwater in a room submerged in water. Just like they replaced contestants who had COVID with employees, because for safety reasons.
Exactly.
The thing you so vehemently claim they lack at the company. Same with this video, where a safety team forced a
for that video, I remember asking the safety guy redacted, and he said he made them go off the raft on day 4 because of a lightning storm for about an hour, then put them back on as soon as it was safe. Also, calling a rusty barge a luxury yacht is hilarious. I'll send you the video. See, you're getting receipts from the oh my gosh.
To be screwed off of their raft in the 7 Days Stranded at Sea video for about an hour because of this dangerous lightning storm. Wait, what was it you said again?
You can clearly see there's no one in the shelter. These are their empty beds. But you didn't spend the night soaked, Jimmy. You slept on the production yacht.
Oh yeah. You lied about them allegedly sleeping on a luxurious production yacht. No, they were forced to stay on a rusty barge for about an hour for their own safety and went back on their raft as soon as a life-threatening lightning storm passed. And here is video proof from the...
If you don't know what a barge is, it's basically like a fisherman's tugboat, basically.
Rusty barge.
It's like a tugboat.
Wow, what a luxurious yacht! Now you can still argue about the fact that they went off of the raft, but I don't think it's faking a challenge when you're forced by your safety team to leave your raft once to get on a rusty barge for about an hour to sit out a life-threatening lightning.
Again, it's completely misleading. Completely and utterly misleading. He's lying about what is actually going on. He's not being truthful of the reasons why they weren't there for X amount of time.
To then get back on the raft as soon as possible, it's making sure people don't die. On one side, you're preaching, the Mr. Beast company isn't safe enough.
Wow.
But then you use every single example of them actually implementing safety protocols against them as if they're doing it to rig challenges or not always use random subscribers. Do I really have to explain why they don't use complete strangers in challenges that include a man and a woman having to stay together in a small enclosed space for 100 days?
Yeah,
Pick a
come on.
side, Dawson.
And here's the thing. It's very obvious that he probably had information, right? He probably had information about these things, but he didn't know the behind the scenes because he didn't actually work there. Like, not to any legitimate degree, right? Not to any degree that would have him be knowledgeable about what's going on, which is why he's able to turn around and be like, oh, well, you know, they didn't stay there the entire time, but doesn't know exactly why they didn't stay there the entire time, because he didn't work on that production, so he wouldn't know. It's like refusing oxygen when you can't breathe. Obviously, you're going to get out of the lightning storm. Yeah, exactly. I endorse the suing. Thank you. Thank you, Mono. And you are correct, Fact. Like, you want to get out of the lightning storm. And if anything, right, it's an even worse to be on a full metal boat than it is to be on that, like, raft in a lightning storm. But, you know, yeah, you can only so much of a toss-up, right?
Do you want them to fucking die for a challenge, or do you want them to be saved? That's why the 24 people in a circle for $1 million video didn't get published, which Dawson insinuates was some elaborate scheme to force more people to buy shirts, and then they'd run away with the profit.
We're gonna have 24 people, we're gonna put them in 24 different circles, $1 million on the line, have some fun, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, this is fantastic.
This video never happened. There is no Mr. Beast video of 24 people in circles competing for $1 million. So, like, did they just pocket the money or what?
Well, again, it was because of peak COVID.
And here's the thing. How do you not know the answer to this? How do you, as the person who's making accusations, who's calling them out, how do you not know the answer to what happened to the video? Because if you know that the video was never made and that no level of compensation was done for these people, that's damning evidence. But the simple fact that you yourself even state you don't know what happened to the video, it's just up in the air. It's just up in the air. That would be like somebody turning around and going, you know, I heard DogPack likes to, you know, fuck kids, allegedly. But I don't know if that's true or not. Like, you know, who knows? Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I don't, you know, who knows? Like, you can't just throw shit out there like that, man.
This time, I'll let the contestant who took part in that 24 people in the circle for $1 million challenge explain what happened. I've heard that you were in the 24 people in a circle compete for $1
Damn, this dude looks like a Chad.
Can you talk a bit about how you were invited to that challenge, what kind of happened, why it was never published?
Mr. Beast started that 24-hour live stream where he was signing t-shirts and giving stuff away for that challenge. So I threw that on. I'm like, look, we'll just put this on in the background. We'll watch it the whole time. And he's giving away tickets, and I just kept blowing up the comment section. I didn't even buy a shirt. I won one of the invitations through the comment section on YouTube.
Oh, for free, as like a free participation, no purchase necessary.
A little birdie told me that DogPack was the one on page 5, allegedly. I don't really know, though. Well, according to DogPack, bro, that's enough fact right there. It's old man Chud. You know what? You're not. I see it. I see it. Yeah, I can see old man Chud. If maybe he grew out the beard, he slimmed down a little bit. Yeah, he's got the salt and pepper going.
I had COVID and everything. It was actually in November. We quarantined for 2 weeks. It was a super nice hotel, like 2 bedrooms. They'd bring meals to our room 3 times a day. It was good food, just wanting to keep everybody safe.
Okay, so up until this point, okay, they were flown out by Mr. Beast Production. They were given 3 paid-for meals a day, paid for their hotel. Okay, everything up until this point has been provided to them.
Sure that we're doing protocols the best way that we could to engage in this video.
They're following COVID guidelines and protocols at that time.
COVID tested, did a giant circle. There was 24 of us, and right in the middle, there's $1 million. And we competed for a few days. All of a sudden, in the middle of the night, one of the subcontractors that worked for the team came in and kind of rushed the gun and didn't wait for his COVID results. And he tested positive. And
okay, one of the contractors got onto the set and ended up testing positive for COVID later. This is during the filming of the $1 million circle video. And
Jimmy came out and he's like, guys, I hate to do this, but one of the guys on the crew has tested positive and I got to keep you all safe. So they shut down the production in order to be in compliance with COVID safety protocols. The video and they apologized. They sent us all home with 10 grand.
So everybody got $10,000. Okay, let's recap. They flew out to compete for $1 million. They got 3 paid for meals a day, paid for travel expenses, paid for their hotel, managed to keep all of them safe from getting COVID, tested on the regular, and when the video failed, they got $10,000 just for showing up.
As an apology, after the new year in January or something like that, we actually got the call again.
So now they're going for round 2.
That they were going to refilm this video, and they brought us all back out, and they're like, it's not going to be a 2-week quarantine. We're going to do like a 4 or 5 day quarantine. And during that period of time, pretty much everybody got COVID, including myself.
So during round 2, now everybody has COVID. They shut it down for safety reasons and still gave them lodging and cash as a form of recompensation. Yeah, exactly, Corvus.
It's like, I'm so sorry, but like we literally we can't do it because everybody's sick, but we'll make it up to you in the future. And again, even then, he gave us like financial contributions to help.
Did they split?
A second time, okay? They got money again for just showing up.
It's just like the $1 million over everyone?
Exactly.
They just split the entire $1 million prize money over every 24 contestants.
They took the $1 million and divided it through the 24.
They gave you guys $1,240,000 in total, I guess.
So in total, they were given 11,000. I'm assuming $11,240. Okay, so it's 10 million. They got thousands of dollars just for showing up. Second time around didn't work. Multiple people got COVID, so they just split the $1 million between the 24 contestants
to stay in a hotel.
Jesus Christ! You guys get the point that this guy is about as trustworthy as Richard Nixon during Watergate. And at this point, he has broken his NDA, committed serious defamation time and time again, and in the process harmed not just Mr. Beast, but also several other innocent people who clearly mean nothing more to him than collateral damage. I'm actually surprised people don't want this guy sued, but hey, I'm no lawyer, so I don't know what's illegal. So I called one, and what Dawson is doing is surely not legal. By now,
I mean, you don't really need a lawyer for that, but yeah, absolutely, he's doing defamation. There's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. I'm more impressed that Soggy managed to get in contact with a potential contestant from that competition, considering it was years ago. So yeah, that's absolutely impressive. Corvus. DogPack is making Bill Clinton sound convincing. Back, you're not wrong. I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Results of an investigation done into the Mr. Beast LLC by an external third-party law firm have been shared and completely aligns with all of the evidence I found. So if at this point you still choose to believe this guy, I kindly want to ask you to stop watching my video and continue putting crayons up your nose while drawing over DogPack's face. Hey! What, however, is legal is the second illegal lottery.
But almost any clip you do find will have some new violation of internet gambling or sweepstakes laws.
I thought it was him. I was like, he won. Wait, really? Let's go! Wait, it's literally like his initial. Who is it? My cousin. Wait, really?
Actually, that's illegal.
Actually, that's not illegal. Only immediate family can partake in your sweepstakes, and the cousin is not immediate family. It would have been illegal to exclude Chandler's cousin unless if specified in the rules of that specific giveaway. And your snippet isn't from those rules. It's from some lawyer's equivalent to Stack Overflow.
So here's a clip of Tyler forging, or not, maybe not forging.
It's not forging.
Using Mr. Beast's signature. And again, I'm not a lawyer. I think this is fraud.
Maybe ask your immediate family, lawyer, next time, because your opinion.
Yeah, and see, here's the thing, right? Since they've come out with the whole Rosanna DogPack 1000 leaked messages, they say that they've had a lawyer. So is this a new lawyer? Is this a lawyer you just talk to every once in a while? Like, oh my gosh, it's not difficult to just be like, hey, let's do some research, rather than, going to somebody's freaking cue cards.
Are fucking stupid. It's completely legal and fine to use someone else's signature if they gave you formal consent to do so,
right?
And it doesn't devalue the signature.
Months later, Mr. Beast signed shirts again, but this time it was a 24-hour live stream with way more illegal lotteries.
Nope. Mr. Beast had no purchase necessary in the description, and even though they did say things like,
would you guys prefer that we throw money in random orders, or that we throw items in random orders?
Yeah.
Somebody screamed in chat, I want to switch. Hey, buy a shirt.
If they ended up picking out of both free and paid entries for those giveaways behind the scenes, which there is no reason to believe they didn't, well, then that is legal in live streams. However, I do agree that it's very scummy and manipulative advertising in my...
So, I don't believe it to be scummy, right? I don't think it's scummy. I do think that it's cheating the system, though. Like, it's obviously people are going to be more engaged when they feel like they can win something for free. Like, it's just the bottom line.
My opinion. Now, even though I have disproven most of these accusations, there's still a few that I have to investigate deeper. I mean, since DogPack404 declined every interview offer,
of course he did.
Place I could
DogPack only ever talks when he thinks he has a W. That's it. He only ever responds to you when he thinks he's winning. He only ever talks or goes on to a interview if he believes it's going to be a softball one. Like, he doesn't ever go after, like, talk to people with opposition.
Up the truth is in the belly of the beast.
Oh man,
Thack, I have no idea. Why are people surprised when business and morals don't realign or don't align?
Carolina? Isn't that the boring part of the US?
Oh well.
Now, on my 8-hour sleep-deprived flight, I had a lot of time to think.
Oh, he's French.
And watch Minions. And there was one question that just kept bugging me. Why did DogPack commit such serious defamation and violate his NDA? Why risk your entire life just to spread lies about a YouTuber. So I went over everything I knew about DogPack to try and figure out his motivation. I rewatched his first 2 job applications for Mr. Beast, which both got denied, and they seemed obsessive at best and pretentiously unprofessional at worst. I went over his personal Reddit account, that 5-head guy, which, for the geriatrics watching, 5-head is hip internet lingo for when a person says something very smart. So he's calling himself very smart, which is pretty pretentious and cringe. And I was starting to see multiple patterns here. Hundreds of obsessive posts and comments on the Mr. Beast subreddit.
Yeah, if you guys didn't know, DogPack404 was a massive Mr. Beast fan. And then before that, he was like a Parasocial XQC fan, if I'm not mistaken.
New Mr. Beast interview just dropped. Feasible designs. Him being pretentious, saying he would do shorts better than the current shorts team at Mr. Beast. Rants whenever people criticized his video IDs. Another third 15-minute long obsessive Mr. Beast job application where he goes into depth on viewer psychology, showcasing how aware he is of how...
Yeah, so this is the part where I was talking about in the earlier video where I was saying that he pretty much his application to Mr. Beast was basically showing them and telling them, hey, look, I can go ahead and manipulate the algorithm. I know how to get kids more involved in the videos and how to get them to watch longer, how to get people to click and manipulate the algorithm. Pretty much all the stuff he's accusing Mr. Beast of doing was his sales pitch to be hired at Mr. Beast. Go figure.
Every small piece of a video can be used to manipulate the viewer in one way or another. It now makes sense why Dawson used the exact same content cop outfit as iDubbbz, or why he kept repeating his videos weren't monetized, or how he was able to frame and manipulate every lie as if it were the truth. It really all was viewer manipulation? This entire Reddit account just seems like the online embodiment of an unhealthy Mr. Beast obsession. So then I went over his erratic DMs to me where he threatened to slander me with nothing but false claims. Luckily when he did that, I still had bulletproof receipts, so Dawson had no choice but to back down. Nonetheless, this once again proved to me how DogPack accuses and tries silencing people without any fact checking and completely tries warping the truth to push his personal agenda. So, was he really
it's all just a hate.
All this because
it's all just hate. That's all it is. It's like, even if it isn't like, let's say it's like 70-30 or 60-40, right? The fact that there's even a percentage that somebody can look at and be like, yeah, that's probably, I could probably see this being disgruntled. Like, you can't have that you can't have that, you can't give off that position. You can't give off that feeling to people. Like, DogPack might be getting all this information, but he should be handing it off to somebody else rather than handling it himself, right? It's the same reason why people, like, you don't allow investigators to investigate their own partner's murders. Like, well, you're not supposed to, right? Or like if it was their own family member, because they're too close to it.
Ego couldn't accept the fact that he got fired from his dream job after only 3 weeks at...
Thack, it looks like its application was showing them how obsessive he was about their parasocial relationship he had built up. Yes, that's literally what it was. His entire like application was, hey guys, I know how to make kids tune in longer, and then turns around and goes, well, they're trying to do things to make kids tune in longer. It's like, yeah, that's what got you a job, bro.
A YouTuber he was obsessed with? Maybe I'm gonna get some more answers at the Mr. Beast company, but for now, I'll just rewatch Minions for a third time.
Well, now we got interviews.
Hi, Dustin Harris. You are the, rogue employee. And I first of all wanted to ask you what you do at Mr. Beast, what your role is, and why you decided to reach out and correct some of the accusations that have been made.
I worked for Jimmy almost 6 years, going on 6 years. I've been a writer, director, producer, production coordinator, an assistant, executive assistant, head of production, head of creative, head of construction, you name it. I've done everything that I can do in this company, and not just to see people slander the work that you've done, but to know that it's lies and misinformation will make anybody speak up, to be honest.
Hi, Emily.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing too, right? Is like he was saying that he hasn't done anything to even consider his accusations are doing to the people around them. Like, these are people who worked really, really hard and for a very long time on these productions, and here you have somebody calling it fake, saying that it's not true, saying it's not real. Like, that could easily discourage somebody from wanting to go ahead and do more, or it can also get them fired from a job too. Like, the level of scrutiny, I mean, it's just crazy, dude. I definitely, especially, I'm one of those types of people who takes pride in their work, so if somebody was calling my work ethic into question, I'd be a little peeved about that too.
You worked at Mr. Beast. Can you tell me how long you've been working there?
I've been working there for shortly over a year, as of like 4 days ago. I'm the ideation strategist right now, ideation generator, coordinator, so that's my official title.
If I remember correctly, that is also where Dawson worked, or for the internet, DogPack404 worked, yeah. So he worked closely together with you.
Yeah, it was me and him in the department for about 2 weeks. It was just the two of us, and Hoodie was overseeing us.
Everybody calls me Hoodie because all I did like back in the day, 8 years ago, was run my own YouTube channel, youtube.com/hoodie. I got to work all over in different departments. I've been in creative, I've been in ideation right now as far as thumbnail.
When you're saying ideation manager, I guess then you were the manager of Dawson or DogPack404.
I was the manager of DogPack404 for a time being.
I've heard some stories of people feeling kind of off when he was hired, and I was wondering, why did you hire him?
I didn't hire that guy. Oh, no, I inherited that man.
Oh, okay, you didn't. Okay,
I inherited that man.
Come to be then.
You want to know? So the real thing that actually happened was he applied to Beast while I was still the creative manager. He applied to Beast twice, and I saw his interview and went, interesting. He's got an analytical brain.
Yeah.
That's not creative. Like, what he's talking about just won't fit what we're trying to do with our videos. So I turned him down the first time.
Okay.
Then he applies the second time a couple months later.
To ideation, I guess.
Still the creative.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, nah, this guy's still like, he's got like an interesting mind, but I don't know. I think he'd probably fit somewhere else in like a different department or a different channel. Who knows? He's clearly smart, but nah, I'm good.
So at this point, he has applied twice, as far as this guy knows, right? Like, that's what he said. He applied the first time when he looked at the dude's application. He was like, okay, this guy's smart, but he's not really for me. Then he looked at his application again for the same position or for the same department, and he was turned around and he was like, okay, like, obviously this guy knows his stuff, but like, I don't think he would work in this department. I think he would work in a different department. Turns out he couldn't work at any department.
Yeah. I don't know what happened. A void opened up, something random happened. He spawned in on the channel, just randomly in ideation. I got summoned into a room and got told by our leaders, they're like, hey, there's a gap in ideation and thumbnail. I need somebody to go in there and help. Can you be that guy? And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll go in.
Okay.
And I went in, and that's the first time I met Dawson.
Dawson sent me a screenshot of messages he had between you and him. Can you just verify that these are real? These are...
Yes, those messages are between me and Dawson.
Okay, okay. Can you tell me a bit about your relationship?
It's still crazy to me. It's still absolutely crazy to me that we have legitimate people. We have faces and we have names. Now, not only do we have trust me, bro, we no longer have that. We literally have the people who are who made these statements, who said these things, coming out on camera and being like, yes, that's what I said, but it wasn't meant to be interpreted like that.
Dawson, during both of you guys working there, was there something that felt off?
Yeah, so I mean, me and Dawson were cordial. Like, I tried to keep it professional. I think he tried his best to keep it professional, but I will say it was a little uncomfortable with just me and him in the office.
Seems like we got ourselves another Just a Robot, Just a DogPack. What is it that Just a Robot said? Because of the way he jokes is the reason he can't hold down a job.
He seemed pretty disinterested in making genuine connections with people at the company.
Well, of course, look at him. Dude looks like a freaking lizard. How do you make...
Keep it professional. I think he tried his best.
How do you make a
he
genuine...
He seemed pretty disinterested.
Yeah.
In...
You're gone. Yeah. How do you make a genuine connection with somebody when you look like that? When you're like... He looks like a freaking chameleon or like a gecko or something like that. Come on.
Genuine connections with
There's
people at
no
the company. He gave weird vibes for sure. And
I'm not down with vibes,
I
but like
felt,
still, yeah.
Very uncomfortable working in the office with him. He didn't seem to work too well with others.
Okay.
It seemed like he had no respect for Hoodie. He didn't
Exactly, fact. The only relationship he can develop is a parasocial one.
take any of Hoodie's advice. It seemed like he didn't think he knew what Hoodie was doing. But yeah, Dawson definitely did not like Hoodie. Did not like Hoodie, did not show him any respect, even though he was his superior and he was trying to train him into being a better ideation strategist.
And see, that's exactly what I was saying, right? That's exactly what I said. The dude thinks that he is so much better than other people, that he's smarter, that he knows more, that he does all of these things, that he is just being underutilized. He literally thinks that he should be higher up in Mr. Beast's business or in the industry of itself. Like he's way too... he has way too much hubris, that's for sure. He looks like the love child of Mark Zuckerberg mixed with IRL Jar. That's true. Jar looks like a weirdo as well in real life.
So there was a leak
hiring manager.
About like work culture, and there was a line in there. No, it doesn't mean no, and it has a pretty negative connotation. And I was wondering because you as a woman work pretty negative.
When dealing with people, so this is what it says. When dealing with people outside of Mr. Beast production, never take a no at face value. So if we need a store to buy everything inside of and you call the local Dollar Tree and the person that answers says, no, you can't film here, that literally doesn't mean shit. Talk to other employees and see if any are fans or if any. So it's a sales strategy. That's what she means. She means that this literally is just saying no doesn't necessarily mean no. It's just like when people are like, oh, do you want to donate to the Make-A-Wish Foundation or do you want to donate to this? And then somebody's like, no, I'm good. And then they turn around and go, really? It only takes, 5 cents a day to, heal cancer or something. Like, that's what they mean. Like, they're like, don't ever give up the sales pitch. Like, just keep going. They're not saying to go out and they're not saying to not get consent from people and just show up. Like, that's not at all what they're saying.
Connotation. And I was wondering, because you as a woman working at Beast, what was your reaction when reading that no doesn't mean no thing?
Yeah, so I actually wrote that part. That's why it's funny. Yeah, because I actually wrote this thing with Jimmy.
That's crazy.
The whole reason why this thing exists in the first place is because we are growing so fast people-wise. It's like, okay, how do we give them artificial Jimmy time? Like, how do we teach them what CTR is, teach them what 1 out of 10 is? Yeah. Like, how do you say, okay, this is how we think about creative, this is how...
Exactly, Thack. It's just telemarketing in real life, basically. Yeah. If you've ever had a sales job, that's exactly what they tell you. No doesn't mean no. Keep them on the line. Do your best. Blah, blah, blah. Switch it. Go to something else. Maybe they're saying no to this product, but won't say no to a product that does almost the same thing, but is a little cheaper, etc., etc.
Oh, it takes
sales.
to be successful here, based off of the hard things we got to do. That's the intent behind the document, right? No doesn't mean no is wildly taken out of context, I think, in this situation.
Of course it is.
In the way that we mean it, it's a sales tactic. It's like, again, like I mentioned, like you call a crane operator and go, hey man, I need you to drop a jet from your crane. And they're like, huh? No, I can't do that, right? And so for us, it's more like, well, why can't you?
It's just like the Marine Corps mission statement, adapt and overcome. That's literally all it is.
Do that. And they're like, oh, well, I don't have the manpower to do this. And it's like, okay, well, how do we help you get past that, right? Can we help get you more labor? Is it like that's what it means, because like we wouldn't have a company if we stopped at no at face value.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right? Because if everybody that told us no, we couldn't do some of the crazy things that we've done. It, in no sense of the word, in the context, means like as a female, if somebody comes up to me and says an improper comment, like they keep trying, like not at all.
Okay,
you know
because that was kind of concerning, I guess. But
like not at all.
Yeah.
You could just read the damn paragraph and you already know that it was completely taken out of context, miscontextualized,
not at all. Like in any sense of the word, it's like no, like it's a sales tactic. It's been around long before
that's what I
put it down on paper.
The truth of the matter is we were 4.5 weeks out of that video.
Controlled opposition. Jokes aside, person wanted to be censored, but not his voice distorted on CGI in the train versus pit video. Oh, okay.
When we didn't have a hole or a train. And I don't know if you know anything about digging dirt, but it takes a long time to dig a hole.
Yes, it does.
And the location we ended up shooting it at happens to be a close personal friend of mine, and just happened to have a 50-foot deep quarry that was already dug. And the creative behind the video was that it was an 80-foot hole. So I had to get it dug another 30 feet in 4 weeks, which that much limestone is a lot to do.
Yeah.
So we hired a massive excavating team to come out and dig the other 30 feet out. And then the reason that the hole is CG'd in the video is because of safety, right? We needed to create a back wall that the train wouldn't crash into and potentially kill people. So the hole is a little bit bigger than the video that we put lifts and cameras on that were far enough away that the train wouldn't hit them and no one would die, right? So it was all a safety concern. It was not about faking a hole at all.
War crime stuff, that was a joke. Why did you make that joke?
I didn't work on that video. I was in the company at the time. I was working on a separate project, and I got a call, and they were like, "Hey, Jake's not doing so hot." And so I came in, and the assessment was accurate. He was not doing so hot.
He does not seem like the type who could survive in a national forest, let alone the actual woods.
It's kind of like I was talking to him. I was trying to cheer him up, and I made that joke. It's a war crime. I didn't think it was going to turn into a bunch of thumbnails and titles on YouTube, but it was serious. I mean, it was obviously a joke, and it was definitely framed a little more maliciously.
Yeah,
in the video.
They didn't insinuate it as a joke in the video. They didn't show the war crime, definition of war crimes while it's being said. Which can you talk a bit about, since you were friends with Jake Weddle, did he talk about it afterwards, or do you know how it came to be that he had such a rough time in that challenge, in that isolation challenge?
Again, I didn't work on the video, so all I can do is
he just doesn't have he doesn't have the mental fortitude. Honestly, that's my opinion.
I'll answer you by saying the process we normally go through when we cast. We usually find someone who we think is going to be good for a video, and we usually work with them leading up to the video, letting them know not exactly the challenges that we're going to be doing, but round about the level of difficulty that challenges are going to be, and then we kind of lay out the challenge, right? We'd never really had that issue up to that point, and we haven't ever had that issue since that point. We've done videos.
So Jake Weddle is the only person who seems to have crashed out. He's the only person who seems to not have been able to handle it.
The Trap Together video that had really, really similar aspects to the video Jake was in, and they had a positive experience after the fact. I mean, it was a tough challenge for them, but they released these videos after the fact. Now, that doesn't take away the way that Jake felt in that video, and I would never do that. I saw the guy; he was not doing so hot. And I don't know what happened in there.
But see, that's a him problem. He was not mentally capable of handling this. That's all on him. Fuck him. I'm sorry. And then he tries to turn around and utilize that as a both a sword and a shield to push false allegations, knowingly pushing false allegations. Nah, fuck him, bro. Who cares? Sleep deprivation is okay as long as you do what I and soldiers could do. You learn to sleep anywhere. Comfort is relative to surroundings. Yeah, that's true, Neon.
Specifically to make that happen. I know Jake. He's not lying when he said he had a bad time. I don't want to say that it was 100%.
But there's a difference between having a bad time and it being actually bad. You can get food poisoning from a restaurant. That doesn't mean that the restaurant is putting rat poison in their goddamn burritos or something.
Jake is the reason that challenge didn't turn out the way that it was supposed to turn out. Some people approach challenges just completely different, and that's the thing is.
So people aren't built for.
My brain tells me that if other people have gone through similar challenges and they've turned out okay, then maybe it's not the challenge. And I'm not the type of person.
It's the person. It's not the challenge.
I still work here now, and I know he's still making videos, and I know people like I have friends that are like, I can't believe you're still talking to Jake Weddle, and I'm like, you know, in 10 years, none of this is going to matter between him and I, and I'm sure we'll have a beer together.
Be careful, you never know. He might get sued. he might not be able to afford a beer if he gets sued by Jimmy.
In the grand scheme of things, my friendship with him is more important than anything anybody's going to say online. When he spoke out, I know what he ran into as well. I know he ran into people that sent him hate. I know he ran into people that were sending him death threats. I know that he got...
But he was lying. That's the problem, is he was making it out to be worse than it actually was.
Doxed. I know his phone number got leaked. And in that scenario, you know, as messed up as it sounds, like he couldn't really turn to any of his friends at Beast because he kind of just, you know, it would be.
But he didn't have any friends. Like, you listen, it's like what Kristen Ark said, right? You can only give so much leniency to that friend who keeps on going back to their ex. He put out all of this misinformation and lied about people at Mr. Beast. So now he has no friends at Mr. Beast. He has nobody he can turn to because he didn't have any friends outside of those people. He only managed to get people who are, peddling the same lies as him, like Rosanna and DogPack. That's why he's with them now. Like, he alienated himself with all of his lies.
Kind of conflict.
Kind of just upset everyone at Beast. I mean, like, who does he have to turn to? He has to turn towards Rosanna and DogPack and all the people that are making these videos about us. I mean, I think he found a family and he found a home.
No. He found a parasocial group of losers who are using this to push themselves up. But again, there's a reason why Jake Weddle's videos outside of DogPack don't get views comparably to the DogPack videos. There's a reason DogPack or Mr. Beast videos. There's a reason DogPack doesn't put out any videos other than Mr. Beast videos, because that's all he has. If he starts doing gaming, nobody's gonna care. And as far as Rosanna goes, like, bitch is just an evil witch.
I fault the guy for sticking with that little group of people making videos. Like,
I can fault him.
So something I also want to ask you about is about Lokoya Hill, and there was some mismanagement from him towards his assistant. There are some allegations out there, but nothing concrete so far. And can you tell me a bit about what really went on with Lokoya Hill?
Yeah, so like just to kind of give you background on like when someone reports something to HR, which would have been me at the time.
Rosanna always looks so pretentious. Damaged, you are so correct. I do not understand. She is aggravating. She has a face that makes me just look at her and think that in her head, she probably always 100% is in the right in her mind. She cannot be fallible in her brain. In my like that's the type of vibe she gives off to me.
Because it was years ago. Whenever somebody reports it, I go, hey, okay, like, thank you, I appreciate it. We're gonna make sure that we do everything we can to look into it. Then we always hire a third party company, either a lawyer or someone that's like not here to like prove one person right or wrong, but like a true unbiased party. And so then like everybody talks to him, like the person, his assistant would have talked to them, Lokoya would have talked to them, and any person that they named as witnesses or potential proof of text messages, like pictures, anything, like this company would have dealt with. And then they write a report and then they go, hey, here's what you should do, right? And so that's what they do. And then internally what we do is like, okay, the assistant, like,
Corvus, even with that, it does seem possible, and he's being used by both of them. Yeah, it's entirely possible that he's being used by both Rosanna and DogPack, but the other end of the stick is that he, as being the only person out of the three of them who's been specifically paid by Mr. Beast, I don't really consider him being the one being used. Like, I think he's just a very emotionally stunted man who doesn't know how to move past what's happened in his life and is realizing that being a victim works in this economy.
What do you want to happen, right? If it's this, if it's that, like obviously if it's found like he's gone, like that's not okay in any workplace, you know?
If it's like confirmed that there is something.
Like, of course, like, we're not gonna hang on to that, right? And so, and he's like, yeah, I don't necessarily want him to be fired, but like, I don't want to be around him. I don't want to.
So if you guys don't know what they're talking about right here, they're talking about the LaQuoya stuff right here, okay? The person, this is what, you remember how the guy said, how DogPack said that it was potential that LaQuoya drugged and raped his assistant? This is what the assistant told the manager, the HR department, all of these people. This is his response to them asking, like, what do you want to do about the LaQuoya situation?
Like, of course, like, we're not gonna hang on to that, right? And so, and he's like, yeah, I don't necessarily want him to be fired, but like, I don't want to be around him. I don't want to see him. Like, it's just really uncomfortable.
Do you believe there is any? Do you honestly, like, you would have to stretch the imagination so much to believe that this person was knowingly drugged and raped and then turned around and said, you know what? I don't want the person who did that to me to be fired. I just want them to be in a different department. That's crazy. It doesn't make any sense. Like, now, was LaQuoya probably like doing some sexual harassment or something like that? Yeah, probably. It probably was. He probably was doing it. I'm totally down to say that. He was probably way too friendly with people, way too friendly, way too much in people's spaces and getting all handsy. I'm pretty sure stuff like that was happening, right? Allegedly. But if you are alleging that this person was the person that they're talking about, the assistant, was drugged and raped by LaQuoya Hill, and here we have a freaking, or LaQuoya Johnson, LaQuoya Hill, whatever the fuck his name is, here we have the hiring manager telling and saying that the person who is alleged to have been raped by LaQuoya turned around and said, don't fire him, just move him to a different department. Like, and you think that if there was sufficient evidence that occurred, that Jimmy and everybody else is just gonna turn around and go, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Let's do that.
For me, you know, so we're like, okay, great. So like, I actually worked with them to come up with a list of like jobs that he wanted, because again, if the person who he's assisting is not here, like, it's like, okay, well, now what's your job? Like, so it was like, we came up with everything he was interested in, like what he wanted to do and stuff like that. And
so they both got different jobs.
And we said, hey, you won't have to see LaQuoya again. We're gonna like move him completely out. It wasn't a secret. Like, we moved him to a new company idea that we had. He was the only person in that company. He wasn't even on site. He wasn't working in the building. He wasn't anything like that. Like, we just said, hey, we think this is a cool idea. Go figure it out. And so he went on his own to go figure that out. And then the assistant worked with us for a long time. And then when he wasn't here anymore, I think it was like almost a year after the assistant like had, you know, chosen to do whatever he wanted to do. Then we were like, okay, we'll bring LaQuoya back to help, because at this point there's no conflict anymore. So that's really what it was. Like, it was no.
Now this is obviously the more boring, quote unquote, depending on who you are, portion of the video, but it's just adding more context to everything, right? LaQuoya was accused of being this uber rapist, touchy-feely person, and the one time his shenanigans or his actions are brought up to anyone of power, it's the consequences of the person he supposedly accosted. Like, all they wanted was to not work for the guy anymore. So they both got different jobs. And then the assistant no longer worked for Mr. Beast, so they brought LaQuoya back because there was no conflict of interest there anymore. The guy said he didn't want to see LaQuoya. They gave him a different job. They gave LaQuoya a different job. Now this guy, the assistant, leaves the company. They bring LaQuoya back because there was no evidence to suggest that some incredible, as far as we know, that some wild sexual assault occurred, like DogPack accuses or alleges occurred.
Oh, we're gonna go hide LaQuoya over here. And like, I mean, even now, LaQuoya doesn't work for us anymore.
Most of the time he was there was consumed in trying to get an Apple Vision Pro.
Any weird stories circulating or whatever?
Back to the Apple Vision.
Dawson
Always.
did at the company, or
I heard that he told the chef that his food was trash.
I heard that story too. Yeah. And then he like denied it in a.
Okay. The Soggy rode his high horse of investigative integrity and then took Chucky's word as fact. I at least have the integrity to call allegations allegations. I never talked about Chucky. I'm assuming red is Soggy. Mr. Beast has security cameras all over Studio C. If they can find footage of me ever insulting the prep chef's cooking, I'll donate $1,000 to a charity of their choice. Dude, not all security cameras record audio. If Mr. Beast made the claims that Soggy did like how I treated to steal... What? If Mr. Beast made the claims that Soggy didn't like how I tried to steal from the company, my lawyer would be popping champagne and doing backflips. Easiest defamation case of all time. DogPack, you don't understand what defamation is. Your lawyer would be probably digging himself a grave, having to like write a plea deal or begging for Mr. Beast to take it easy on you.
Afterwards, and I talked about that, but
I'm not sure how much truth there is to that, but I mean, maybe we could call him and see like, hey, this is Emily.
You know, I'm not entirely sure if that's true or not, but if you want, we can call the chef. Dude, it's just perfect.
From ideation.
Hey Emily, how are you?
Good, how are you doing?
I'm doing alright.
Cool. Well, I'm here with Soggy. I wanted to ask you, I have a question to ask you about Dawson, but I want to make sure you're comfortable being recorded first.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool. So I heard a rumor circulating that Dawson told you that your food was trash. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, it was the first time I actually met him. It was kind of after his tour.
Day one, freaking DogPack pulled up to the kitchen and was like, "Bro, did you cook this? This is straight ass." It's like he pulled up to the kitchen and told the guy, "I could make better food than the guy who's being paid to make food." Bro, come on. Listen, anybody who's a chef knows just how embarrassing or how angry you get at yourself for preparing a bad meal, okay? Everybody knows that. But when somebody who you've never met before, you don't even know if they have a background in cooking or if they're good at it or whatever, they just come up to you and they're like, "Yeah, I could do better than you." You're like, "Bro, those are fighting words." Dude, day one, pulled up to the kitchen and was like, "Nah, get out of here, Chef Ramsay."
Of our studio and such, and he actually came over, tried some of the food that we had in the fridge, and then proceeded to tell me
they have daily free food items. Bro,
of our studio and such, and he actually came over, tried some of the
daily free food for employees. Bro, look at that. He's got all these snacks, he's got a ton of burritos, got all of these like freaking bowls. Holy Jesus. Got a massive cupcakes. Look at all of this. And it's free. Yo, oh my god. Yeah, for me, I would say put up or shut up. Exactly, Neon.
Fridge, and then proceeded to tell me it tasted like shit, and that he wishes that we would cater more frequently.
Wow.
Which is fairly interesting because I'm not sure if I had introduced myself or maybe I felt comfortable.
The fact that she said I'm here with Soggy likely means that this call was planned beforehand to make it easy for this guy's schedule or for some other reason, as he would have to know who the guy is. So he has been talking to a bunch of different people, right? Like obviously this girl plus the hoodie, the manager. So it's entirely possible that like Soggy's been reaching out and they've talked about Soggy cereal and said like, "Hey, is it okay if I call?" And you never know, like she could have been texting him, like, because there was that jump cut, right? It was like, "Oh, can we maybe we can call him," and then it cut to her calling him. So she could have been texting him prior and he just cut that out because it was dead air. But you're not wrong, Corvus. You're not wrong. It's entirely possible. But at the same time, it's still a physical testimonial. It's not just a text message. It's a person. It's a voice. It's a real human being.
To tell me the food tasted like shit.
Yeah.
But that's kind of how it went. My first interaction with him, and then other than that, I really
that's
had
crazy.
no other interaction or wanting to have any other.
Yeah.
Yeah, who would want to?
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I'm really sorry to hear that, but I disagree. I think your food is great.
Thank you so much. I mean,
Recently, there was this video that started getting some traction. One of the clinics where some of the eye surgeries were happening and
I remember
helping
those.
1,000 people see for the first time. And they claimed that the Mr. Beast company hadn't paid for any of the surgeries yet. Can you talk a bit about that?
Essentially, when we did that video, we worked with a
Exactly, Corvus. It is still a testimonial, and it's hilarious. Was like, dude.
third party. And that third party worked with a bunch of different organizations all around the world because we were trying to spread it as far as we could, multiple countries. So we had one center third party that we were working with, and they kind of worked with all these. One of those organizations somewhere around the world didn't receive the compensation, which we only worked with the third party. We paid them for 1,800 surgeries.
Oh, 1,800, so another 1,000.
Yeah.
Almost 2,000 people were given the gift of vision, of sight. Dude, this entire video, you could chalk it up to people basically going, oh, it's just a Mr. Beast fluff piece. No, it's not. What it is proving all of these people are liars. All of these people are BSing. They are spreading misinformation. They are being manipulative. And when you hear the full story, all you're left with is, well, Mr. Beast is pretty fucking cool, dude. He's a pretty cool guy. He almost cured 2,000 people of blindness, bro.
We kept going after 1,000. We just worked with them. And we did more than 1,000, but the title of 1,000 sounds a lot better. So we just says 1,000, and it looks good.
Yeah.
So we worked with that third party, and that third party, I don't know what communication error happened between them and the other organization, but some way or another, that organization ended up not being funded properly.
Right.
And then when it came across our desk that the missing loop happened, we just went around the third party we were going to work with to.
So to get all of this done, one of the foundations that did the surgeries came out and said that they still hadn't been paid. Mr. Beast utilized a third party, gave them all the money to pay all these multiple different foundations. There was a disconnect between the third party and the foundation. So when Mr. Beast found out about this, they went around the third party and went directly to the foundation and gave them the money that was owed. People are going to take it as a fluff piece for Mr. Beast or accuse Soggy for sweeping anyways. I know Weedle made a comment on this video somewhere. Maybe I'll look for it, Corvus. But yeah, no, people are going to be hating no matter what. Like, it's just crazy. And here's the thing, DogPack isn't going to respond to this either. Like, he's not going to respond because what's he going to say? Well, he can respond, but he can't respond with facts. Let me put it that way.
Compensate them. Yeah. And they've put out a video since talking about it.
We're doing a video where we're trying to.
And that's the other thing too. Like the same foundation that accused them of not paying put out a video saying that they were paid and explained the misconception or the mishap, right? And what happens? DogPack, Jake Weedle, freaking Rosanna, none of them update their followers and go, hey guys, it looks like it was a miscommunication, my bad. Why? Because it ruins credibility.
Help people walking.
Yeah, I know about that.
Actively, partners have pulled out because of these videos.
It's
there are
terrible.
people who will not walk or will have to delay in them walking because of the videos that DogPack made. That was unironically, like I was getting pitched ideas like Jimmy trying every drug in existence.
That was also like a serious idea that he had.
Yeah,
joke.
It again goes back to like the no, I'm joking. Because if I pitch you an idea of like Jimmy tries every drug and you're like, that's sick. I'm like, yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, but if I would go like, that's kind of weird.
I'd be like, whoa,
it's a joke.
Whoa, you're taking that weird. I was just putting that in as a joke. Like,
that's what I was saying.
How in depth he went on like how viewer psychology works. So he obviously knows how like every part of a video can can manipulate the viewer in some way or form. And you can see that both by that video he made to apply at the Mr. Beast channel, but also you can see that just in the videos he made. Yeah. You know, the Mr. Beast, the fraud videos and stuff. He accuses the Mr. Beast company of really trying to psychologically target children and like manipulate children.
But literally that was one of his pitches.
Is there any truth to
as to why he should be brought on?
In the ideation team, and like did he try to bring his like skills of viewer psychology into ideation? Did he try to do
yes to that, yes to trying to bring his skills of viewer psychology into ideation, and also trying to like bleed it over to creative. Yeah. So that way we could figure out like, okay, well, you know, psychologically a near miss is going to be the craziest thing that we could do here. We should do that, which he has on his like Miro boards, where it's like the exact things that he calls Jimmy out for. If he
shut up, Mono. Wrong. I meant to say wrong. Okay.
He was here for longer than a month, he would know that we were actively working at aging up our content, because that was something that we were like very cognizant of. Is hey, we should make our content something that is appealing and enjoyable to like people who are older. Like, who are the people that aren't watching our videos? Probably 30 to 40 to 50 to even 60. Yeah. How do we make our videos enjoyable for those guys?
More inclusive.
So we're hitting a general audience.
So he's basically saying that they were trying to move from going and doing just kid stuff to being able to include the more minority of the internet, which, let's be honest, if you're anywhere from 40 plus, you are the minority on the internet. Like, the internet is pretty much for kids to teenagers to somewhat young adults, and that's, you can argue all you want, but statistically that's just the truth. Kids are the number one consumers of all things that are, of most things that are created, but it's the parents who are the ones buying it, right? They're buying it for their kids who consume it.
Now you could argue, yeah, a general audience. I mean, we need to make a video that like a 10-year-old and a 90-year-old can understand, which is the same for the challenges that we have to do in videos like that anyways. When we do a video like ages 1 to 100, fight for blah, 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 we have to make a challenge so simple to understand and easy to process that a literal 1-year-old and a 99 to 100-year-old can understand. Yeah. Like, we need to keep that in mind. Yeah. That's just generalizing.
Is Mr. Beast evil?
I went all the way from America and back, and all I gotta show for it is this ugly plushie and this fart gun from Minions. And the interviews I held, by the way, which did clarify a lot. I think I personally finally realized how big of a company and how many people actually work at Mr. Beast. It's not like a small 10 people thing as it was a few years ago. And I'm glad that the interviews clarified Jake Weddle's experience and didn't end up invalidating his personal perspective, but did add some context that it might have not been the challenge that was terrible, but he himself wasn't mentally in the best state in life at that point. But there's one more thing I have to clarify for everyone, and that is the illegal lottery number 1. Which, on my flight back, I finally found some proof that the first illegal lottery was in fact illegal. There was no purchase necessary in the description, no mention of it at all. Yeah, it was illegal. And personally, Jimmy has to own up for it. Either by donating the amount of profit he made in that live stream to a charity, or by refunding everyone who bought a
And I mean, since we've been watching this video, Mr. Beast is nothing if not willing to give money to make things right again. Like, come on. Like, he literally gave people like $11,000 just for staying in a hotel. Come on.
Heard in that stream, but that's like so many years ago, so I don't know if that's a possibility. Or do a giveaway live stream where everything is given away for free with no merch sales attached. However, I do also want to note that most YouTubers, including me, didn't know that you could do something like an illegal lottery. So since only the first one was illegal, I feel like it might have been a mistake. I don't know.
Yeah, of course it was.
I can't say that for sure. Just as the question if Mr. Beast...
I mean, I shouldn't say of course, right? Because then it sounds like it's indefinitely true. But just the simple fact that it was probably like the first time he ever did it, I would assume, it was most likely an accident. And then the subsequently learned from the other two, or learned from that one and didn't do it again. And then he just stopped doing the lotteries altogether. at least in this way, you know.
This evil isn't for me to say, but that is again for you, the viewer, to decide. Because there is some shit that he should be criticized for and has to be looked into. I know Coffeezilla is doing an investigation into his crypto stuff, and once that releases, I hope that clarifies some things, because those are some serious allegations. And that wasn't of like stupid adolescent Jimmy, 19 years old, and hiring someone without doing background checks. That was like 3 years ago, way more recent, that he should.
So I don't think that the Coffeezilla video has come out, but as far as I've heard about it, it's more so it looks suspicious, but it's not like he actually did something maliciously with it. I don't know if that's entirely the case or not. But here's the other thing about it too, right? Is that he's not being investigated by like the government. He's just being investigated by a crypto guy. Like it's not the FBI, it's not like the IRS or Homeland Security is investigating him or anything. It's just some random guy. It's like some other dude who is like Coffeezilla is investigating him. They stream together. He definitely does not wear the pants in the relationship though. Oh my gosh, geez, that's crazy. Apparently Jake Weedle has a girlfriend, as Neon has told me. Like the stream and win, and a random subscriber will get a PS5 Pro. Yeah, sure, Mono. All of it provided by Mono.
Be held accountable for if he did commit crimes with crypto. So yeah, go check Coffeezilla's video on that once it releases. I couldn't really investigate the crypto stuff because I don't know shit about crypto.
Exactly.
And I didn't want to be hypocritical like DogPack and talk about shit I don't know anything about. Because that's basically what Dawson has been doing for the past few months. I feel like Jimmy has to become way more transparent because that is how he got in all this trouble in the first place.
Dude, imagine getting absolutely mogged by a guy who doesn't even speak real English. I'm just joking. He's French, okay? At least that's what it showed on his little travel port, okay? There's no way. It's crazy. Like, Dawson, bro, you're getting absolutely destroyed by a French person. I'm just saying, if you look at the war, if you look at World War II, you know, I'm just saying.
You really have to start a Mr. Beast behind the scenes channel to upload behind the scenes footage there. And stop with the deceptive shit. When you do a sponsor read, don't make the yellow bar go real fast at the start to make the viewer believe that, you know, oh, this advertisement isn't gonna take long, I won't skip over it. But then at the end of it, make the visual timer suddenly run way slower. That's not just deceptive, I think that's pretty disrespectful towards your audience. And I know that there are still questions that you guys probably have with stuff that I just couldn't address because there is so much, but I can forward you to some other people who have talked about stuff that I might have forgotten in this video.
All I want is what I assume is probably an hour of him just begging for his job. That's what I want, okay? That's what I want. If you have that, you know.
If you want to know some more about Beast Games and the Beast Games lawsuit,
I don't care.
Check out Soggy's channel. He did a great deep dive on that, and I made many other videos on the whole DogPack Mr. Beast situation. And again, once Coffeezilla's investigation on the crypto stuff is out there, I highly recommend you to go watch that, because that'll clarify a lot of stuff that I don't know anything about. Because I trust those investigative creators 10,000 times more than I do Dawson. Instead of having competent people investigate serious accusations, he's just been throwing baseless shit at the wall and hoping some stuff sticks with the audience.
Well, not only that, but he's been teaming up with people who will have around the same or more subscribers than him to give him credibility. He's tacking his name onto people like Rosanna, who already have an established credibility, and is banking on that.
He is incompetent, petty, a liar, deceptive, and after all this, I just know that he is a disgruntled employee. I've been investigating this for like the past 3 months, and I really hope that I was able to answer some questions you guys had before watching this video. Also, Jimmy, stop the collabs with Logan Paul. If you want to see some more of my interviews or some extra additional context that I have but wasn't able to put in this video, let me know in the comments below. I might talk about it on my socials, so make sure to check those out in the description, as well as maybe post some stuff on my second channel, so make sure to check that out as well. Thank you everyone for watching. thanks for joining my cereal bowl so I can absorb all of your fibers and nutrients. And I hope that the Mr. Beast drama is finally over now, because at this point, I'm sick and tired of it.
Yeah, it's pretty trash. It is pretty freaking crazy. That was a great video. That dude that was a really good video. He was funny, he was entertaining. I liked him. And I mean, he came with receipts. You can't even be upset with it. You can't be mad at the guy. He came with fucking receipts to turn around and not just be like, oh, trust me, man. Trust me. This is totally what happened. Appreciate you guys coming out. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me for a couple of hours to take a look at all this craziness. I really do hope that the whole Mr. Beast arrangement syndrome is over at this point, because how much more BS can come out? How much more lies, how much more misinformation can be peddled at this point? But anyways, if you guys do end up heading over to Kristen Ark's stream, just let them know that the after show sent you. So you guys have a good one. Enjoy. Have a wonderful evening. And fuck Mondays. Fuck Mondays. All right, guys.